Right? We pop out the Twitch chat. So anybody who wants to stay in Twitch can, because if you want to do that, that's fine. Stay in Twitch chat. Okay, there it is. You should be decent. I got the live chat up. Alright. Cool. Alright. Begin. How do I get to the watch later?
Specific person who's been driven to
Here we go.
Suicide by Brittany's videos?
Risk of harm is not the same thing as harm, and morally equating them is stupid.
I'm not morally equating them. If I were morally equating them, I would say Brittany's killing people. What I'm saying is, I think Brittany is sending messages to people who are vulnerable to hearing those messages that could damage them. That is risk of harm to risk of harm. Literally what I'm saying is, there is a risk of harm with Brittany's content, and I think it's unethical to send those messages to suicidal people.
Huge risk.
And you keep, and Kylo, you keep trying to fucking corner me into saying that she killed somebody, so then you can say, well, she didn't kill anybody, just like Dr. fucking K. But in both cases, I'm not saying anybody specifically killed anybody.
Dr. K did kind of go for it.
But no, I'm saying people are doing things that are reckless. Jesus. And taking risks with other people's lives and mental health so they can enrich themselves, and I think it's unethical.
Just as a quick caveat, I don't think either me or Kyla's saying this, then fuck her, but I don't think we're looking for you to point out like a specific person. When we say a specific harm, we just mean...
Kyla keeps saying you can't point to a specific...
No, not a specific harm. As in, like, can you say like, oh, well, a person listening to this thing might avoid therapy and then might, like, you know,
okay,
increase
a person listening to, a person hearing somebody say you're so useless, you can't even kill yourself, might kill themselves. That would be pretty specific.
So, okay, so it does increase the risk. That was the first question I asked you. Are you concerned because you think it increases
you asked me for an example of, you asked me for an example of harm.
No, I said.
You just said, I want you to tell me a specific harm that could.
I started by trying to clarify your position by saying, are you concerned? Is the harm?
You're not trying to clarify my position. My position is very simple. And
this stream happened a little bit ago, about 2 months. The reason why I'm watching it is an individual donated into the stream with the argument that this was a display, that Lavloon hasn't changed at all, that she hasn't grown. Although she said sorry a million times, she doesn't care to take responsibility for her growth as a person.
Widely held by mental health professionals around the world that if you tell people who are suicidal that they're useless,
I've already
that's not
told
good.
You.
Okay, here's what I think. So I definitely, Max, I have a whole different way and feeling against Brittany. I understand this was framed as like Sunday night.
Kind of crazy that you still have to go like on YouTube to watch Destiny vids, considering Hassan restreamed them for 8 hours straight. I think I was told that I don't have to for Destiny, and I feel like that might be the case. I don't feel like Destiny's purged on Twitch outside of like maybe mass reporting you for watching Destiny. I think Mr. Girl is. I think Mr. Girl is Shadow Realm banned. He is from the ether getting snipes. If you watch a second of Mr. Girl content, I feel like you're fucked. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I've seen the most consistent bans on.
Smackdown from Dan, I think that was great. I think you were just trying to, bump it up. Now I'm realizing that I don't feel like I need to change Brittany, but I can do my best to offset what she's doing. So, like, if she's prescribing all these things to her people and I don't agree with them, I'm going to do the same. Like, I'm going to be like, yeah, I don't agree. And that's, like, all I can do, really. Because I don't even think that she's in the place where she really, like, it seems like she's, like, very much thinks that her reality is her reality, but isn't, like, really, understanding that there are certain things that, like, society we live within. And that's, like, her own thing. That's good to know.
Girl, you think I don't vote or pay taxes? You think I'm retarded? What's going on?
You gotta be careful with like absolute statements like that, I think, but sorry, good.
Yeah, what are you literally saying? I'm about to buy a house, girl. I'm an older sister. I have like literally like important things to do in the real world.
Okay,
we're on YouTube right now in the fake world. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and she was kind of implying that you don't, by the way, Lav.
Yeah.
She didn't pick up on that.
Thank you, Dan. That was correct.
My problem is that like you think that you have.
I want you guys to listen to this for Lav. Listen to this for a second.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, just let Lav.
No, go ahead, Max.
Level 4s, though, can commit chosen death, which is a conscientious choice to kill yourself, to end your existence because you acknowledge that this is the world. And you can or cannot make that decision. I was going to make that decision. I discussed it with friends of mine, and I had said, look, I think like I've made a pretty good argument for making this decision. And then my friend who's a level 5 said to me, I see myself
What is
in you.
this?
You're about a decade behind from me.
Okay. So now we're advocating for level 4s can commit chosen death.
Yeah,
Do you see how that comes across as like pro-suicide?
She's not advocating.
My
She's
greatest-
literally giving descriptive claims of her worldview. She's not in any way advocating. She's not saying 4 should go and kill themselves. She's just describing her worldview of what
She's
like,
saying it's an
level
option.
system.
It is an option, obviously. Suicide's an option for
Absolutely is an
anybody.
option.
I'm saying
not
people
saying
are
it's
so
not true.
introspective.
I'm saying it's bad for people to hear that.
It's bad to let people know they have choice and agency and free will.
No, I think if I was doing Max right here, he would say that what's bad is to imply that unless you're a level 4, you don't have the ability to commit chosen death. But once you get to level 4, that's when you can make that decision.
In regards to suicide, Max would probably say
I think both you guys
I think
No,
I'm
no, no,
specifically saying.
suicide.
Wait, but you're fully against mind. What?
Yeah,
I'm saying
like,
if you're luring people to your channel who are vulnerable and unstable.
Luring.
I'm literally just talking about my life, and
Yes,
people
luring has
usually
a
congregate
predatory
around that.
connotation to it. Do you know what that word means?
I do. Why do you think she's luring? How is she luring and your like call-ins aren't luring? Or anyone else's call-ins aren't luring? Or Dr.
Because
K's aren't luring?
Well, I think Dr. K is luring.
Okay.
It's a word used to describe the predatory intentions
I
of
looked
the
up
person
and she
doing
had put
the
a
attracting.
Destiny.
So you're
the
assuming an
game
intention
loading
behind it. So
screen
like in
over
your
his
case in the
picture,
hot,
and I
like you're
laughed
not
so
luring
hard.
people because there isn't an intention, but in Brittany's case, she is luring because she has this like mask 8D chess conspiracy to lure people in, get their money, establish a parasocial relationship,
doesn't have to be
and
like
not
that.
really fix their life.
It doesn't even have to be that crazy. Like you look
Yes.
up Brittany Simon and it says the level's a way to observe people's introspection level. And that's just
Okay.
like that's not like how I learned to do whatever. Like people are going, because you have cultivated a following, people are going to see that, people are going to trust you. People are very trusting. That's the problem. Is that
No,
you're like,
I think your problem
nothing
is you do
are
not radically accept
anybody.
that humans are gonna human, girl. I don't know what to tell you.
What
Like
type of
literally.
stupid thing to say?
No, listen to me right now. You guys all think you're so fucking important, and it's so boring.
So you think
I
that
am.
there's
I am
No,
super
do your
important.
best and call it a day. Do your best and fucking
You think that
smoke
there's
a joint and
nothing?
call it a
Okay,
day.
please. You think that there's nothing you can do to influence anyone?
I told you I did the best, and you would not present me with something better. Tell me what I'm not doing. Who can tell me what I've been doing that is so
No,
bad?
I'm asking you a question. Why the fuck would you turn it back on me?
Because the question in and of itself doesn't even make sense. Because you're not giving me anything to move off of. I don't understand how I'm supposed to
What?
answer.
I'm
it.
saying, oh my god, I actually
Say
feel
it
like
again,
I'm
say it again,
fucking
girl.
crazy.
Say it
This is-
again.
I actually have never dealt with anyone this manipulative in a conversation before. I'm
Chill.
really-
Wait, hold on. Chill on the M words. Chill on.
Steven.
Chill on the manipulative words. Calm down.
Hey,
Just let him fight.
First of all, Brittany, are you super stoned right now?
I'm baked as fuck, girl.
Okay, that's what I
Destiny,
are we taking advantage of Brittany?
minding my business. No, girl. Listen to me. I'm making
just
plenty
being
of sense
clear,
because
when
Destiny's
she's-
translating just fine. And you guys keep agreeing.
Sort of, but
It's
Destiny
fine.
and I are also kind of like Brittany translators a little bit. So like
You
I
are.
understand
Let them.
you.
They don't
Kyla,
need any
Kyla, I already
mansplainers.
said,
Yeah,
Kyla,
and I'll
I
let
already
you-
said this
I'll
is
let you
bubbles.
stir the pot. I'm just saying,
Kyla.
just to be aware, Lav, she's baked as fuck right now.
That's okay. She can talk. She's a big girl.
I know.
I'm an adult.
I know,
I'm 33 years old.
weigh
Relax.
that into-
Oh, wait.
She lives
you
her life
said
in the
it.
bake zone. Okay, she can handle it.
I do. But Kyla, listen, I've already said it. It's subjective. It's not objective. It's an idea I came up with somebody. We had experienced something. We came together, shared it with the world. Who fucking cares? I'm just a YouTuber, bro.
But
Like,
you
it just
shared
doesn't
it.
matter.
Okay.
As
You
a
shared
thinker,
it.
as a thinker, is it illegal to be a philosopher now? I'll take that title. Are philosophers teachers all of a sudden? No, they're homeless men who walk around the city
So
preaching.
This
That's me.
this is where I'm like, this is where I'm like, okay, can Brittany even change her mind? Is it?
It's not
worth
about.
it?
I can't change my mind on
Okay, I
something
would like
that has
to,
nothing
I
to
would
do
like
with
to
my reality.
submit some
You're
evidence to the
asking
court.
me to be Catholic. I can't. I'm an atheist. Back off. But you're so sure you're right.
Everything Max accuses this is Gunther inside of Twitch offline chat. Everything Max accuses Brittany of is super applicable to him. Got any examples? He's postured himself as a streamer completely against parasociality that never gave his fans that never gives, I'm assuming, his fans access to him, but he's cultivated the most parasocial community that will adamantly defend him and that is so desperate to talk to him on his call-in show. Look, I don't know what that means. That I don't know what that, like, I'll have to think about that.
We've got more Brittany clips that Max's fan base has found for him.
I think that's a projection.
It's not, girlfriend. I'm chilling.
Listen.
I never told you how to live your life.
They're kind of like the
You're telling me how to tell you not to.
Listen, Labs, shut the fuck up for a second.
Existence that they're even so useless that they can't kill themselves as a way not to be a burden on people or society. They're kind of like the virus of society. They cling to existence and to breathing our oxygen, but will in no way, shape, or form, no matter how much help they get better. We all know these people. They exist in our lives. Some suffer from mental illness, some don't, but they come in all shapes, sizes, ages, races, backgrounds. So remember, all of the levels, all humans fall into some category. So unsatisfied fools are personally people
I think Erudite focused too much on being charitable to all parties to the point that it might be patronizing. Focuses. I think you'd have to give me an example. Rises with the £5. Suprelly, my whitest black streamer. You think you just because you pay me, you can get away with that?
Okay, no matter how much help they get, they will never get better. So when you said a level 1 can become a level 5, that doesn't actually bear out when we look at your video.
Do you remember
He's
the
got
answer I
you
gave
there.
you for this already? Did I already answer this? I have like 60 plus podcasts for free. The levels isn't written down. It's a living entity. It changes over time. We do a discussion 101
Oh
class
my god, so
every
then
month.
you're God. So then you're, I just don't understand.
Wait,
Hey, no, it just means, so she told me a similar thing, right? When she came into the chat the other day, I was like going over her video and I was like, yo, this sounds really bad, because I listened to that specifically. And she was like, oh yeah, I changed my opinion on that. I'm like, okay. And that's it. You just move on. She changed her opinion. So what? Like, so what? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like, oh, your previous opinion was trash. You don't have it anymore.
It
Labs,
doesn't
shut
matter.
up. Now she has
Labs.
to just prove she's not God. Shut the fuck up.
I'm not
Jesus
God.
Christ.
I win. Yay.
In your presentation, okay. Now wait, now you're saying not only can I not be held accountable, not only can I not be held accountable as an authority figure, now nothing I say means anything because
To be fair, she said help in the clip, when before she said if they want to. So you can't force level 1. Okay, Tommy.
I can just say the system changed. Even when in the video describing the system, I said that these people are a virus.
You're the only one taking it seriously, bro.
What do you think she needs to do to correct it? Because if she says that she disagrees, I would agree that's a really terrible statement, Brittany. Like, pretty
No, literally, like I'm just a YouTuber. It's all documented.
I hear that
if
you
I
changed your mind.
private it, then they won't see the growth in the levels. The level says change. It's literally subjective. Who's retarded enough to take it too seriously?
Me.
Many people. What do you like? This is where I disagree heavily with Brittany. Like, I'm just saying my system out loud, saying how it helped me. There's gonna be people that take that as gospel. You should be careful with what you say is a good, bad, or whatever system. You don't even have to prescribe it. You could just say it's been helpful to you in the past. You have to be careful with your caveats, the positives, and the negatives. Have you nailed down a time and place for the talk with Brittany? Nope. We haven't done any of that yet. We'll figure it out.
Then
Max.
why?
Oh yeah, also, if you guys want to support me making content on YouTube more consistently for longer periods of time, drop a like on the video. I really do appreciate it. I also can see how many individuals, I really wish I could see who. I would love to shout out individual names, but I can see how many people have liked the stream. So when I do these call outs, I can see how many people actually go through and do it. For instance, I know that since I started this, there's been 9 people, now 18 people, who have liked the video in comparison to, previously. It helps me to continue streaming on YouTube to get organic growth, to grow my actual YouTube channel, let alone the YouTube live streaming channel or the YouTube live streaming experience. So yeah, if that's something that you would like to do is support me through that, it's free and it helps me out a lot. I should just look up whether or not it's bannable to show my analytics. If chat wants to be level 5 Giga Chads, make sure they like the video. Thanks for the content. Thank you, Momo. For the 5.
Not my
The
problem.
video. Wait, so why can't you just make this video? Why can't you just
He's
make
making
videos for yourself as like a
potentially
So, like, after the call out, there's been 40 people now who have liked the video. Thank you to 40 people who went out of the way to like the video. Thank you.
Like you make these videos. So once you make these videos, you're like not in control of it anymore because that people can look at these videos. So why would you not? So if they mean nothing and they only help you, why would you not just have these for yourself in your own MacBook and then just be like,
I told you, you didn't hear me. Let me say it again. I'm specifically on YouTube. One, it's my job, but two, I'm looking for people to have discussions with. I'm looking for people to explore ideas with. I'm looking for people who are open-minded and won't just attack me and call me Satan when they don't even know who I am. I'm a person, okay? I cry like the rest of you. I have mental illnesses like the rest of you. You are literally making me out to be a fictional character of your own imagination.
When asked to be,
and it's not okay. I'm letting you do it. You are.
His last call-in show with Lav was really awkward. At some points, he had this dude that had prepped for a bit the whole week and how he's been so nervous about it since he had first been on. And like 2 or 3 times his viewers did the Max make a pointed statement. Me then call, what the fuck? I don't know what that, Gunther, I don't know what the back end of that statement was.
Lav. Okay, Lav.
You know who I am. You do not.
Jesus fucking Christ, President Sunday is thirsting for attention. Makes you say that.
Nobody sees Brittany. You guys want to let you know who she is.
I want to let you know.
How can you say you know me when you don't listen to me? You don't see me, girl. It's okay. No biggie.
Okay, shut the fuck up, Max. I'm literally, let me talk. Don't talk over me anymore.
I'm proud of you for saying that.
I've never met you. Hi.
I don't agree. Honestly, after this conversation, Max, I don't agree with you at all. And you are pushing me closer to where I'm like, okay, I accept Brittany for who she is. This is what she does. Like, at this point, I'm like,
Brittany for who she is.
At this point, it's like,
Zodiark 420. Thanks for gifting 5 fast ones to the community. It's weird. Apparently, you have to accept gifted subs in YouTube chat. So if you accept the sub, maybe you'll get it. Looks like Skeptical was hit with Zodiark's. Looks like Tommy, my mod, was. Fractal Dust, Drunken Night, and Desolate Mirror all got hit with Zodiark's gifted. Thank you, Zodiark, for gifting those 5 memberships.
I think that you are just... There's this problem where both of you are just like, it is my world is the world, and that is a problem.
Okay.
Am I retarded? Have I not said it 5 times?
Your
world is your world. My world is my world.
Brittany, I know what you're saying. Brittany, I know what you're saying, and I can't help.
Stop interrupting each other. Jesus Christ.
Yes, I do.
Bubbles,
I don't know.
It's all just bubbles. You keep saying, I'm saying I don't know. I'm making the claim. You guys don't believe me. I don't know. You don't know. You're all pretending to know.
Okay,
you know what we're doing here. And I'm saying we don't. It's all a concept.
I feel like I'm at the place in myself journey where I can...
No, I'm saying it doesn't matter. I'm saying, why am I here? Because you're taking me seriously. Why did you pull me from Shark Tank? Because you guys think we're doing something here. You're like, I gotta get Brittany Simon on this panel, and we're all gonna come here.
To be fair, it was Dan, so Dan should be talking the most. I said that there was
a troll. Dan's a troll. He secretly likes me. I can tell. I can hear it, Dan.
Brittany, my problem with you is now is that after you've made these statements that I think we all agree, maybe everybody except you, are pretty objectively harmful to the mental health of the people hearing them.
I think you're insane. I think that statement is so crazy. I told you, I am mentally ill. I'm trying to help people like me. Your system makes me want to kill myself. When you told people I was a Nazi cult leader, I literally drowned in my mind for like 3 days max. And then I just tell myself, it's just a guy on the internet. Brittany, get out of your BPD thought brain. You're fine. No episodes, girl. 3 years clean. And I kept it, girl. No episodes. But for a minute, I was like, oh, this feels like it again. It feels like the internet's coming for me. My stalker's back again. This guy who doesn't even see me is objectifying me on the internet and making a claim about who I am. And I'm telling you, that's cool, bro. I get it. We're all on a journey, but fucking stop it. We're all on a journey. I get it, bro. No, do you. You do you. But fucking stop it.
Most abusers are also victims. So while you do make a compelling emotional plea,
you're objectifying me. I'm a real person.
The problem with what you're doing is that anytime anybody tries to hold you accountable, you take the victim role and you say, by trying to hold me accountable for the responsibility of my channel,
you're the only one trying to stop someone.
A typo that me wasn't supposed to be there.
Vulnerable people.
I'm not trying to stop you, Max. Why do you want to stop me? Because you think you have the answer.
Oh, I see, Gunter. He'll say something like, I don't think you're listening, motherfucker. I got it.
Don't want to stop you. The problem is that when somebody tries to hold you accountable, you reframe it so that they are your aggressor and you are their victim. You say nothing I say matters. You say even things I said in a video don't matter because my beliefs change, everything change. I can't be held accountable to things I've said. I can't be held accountable for videos that are on my channel, and I can't be held accountable as an authority figure because it's just me. I'm just silly Brittany.
Who will hold me accountable? That's why I'm asking you. Who is this person who's holding me accountable? Who?
Nobody can hold you accountable for this unless YouTube takes your channel down, or I think what would be better is if you would just admit that you said a fucking horrible thing. Like, just be open to talking about it and say,
to be fair, didn't she already said she disavows it, right?
No, she didn't say she. No, she didn't say she disavowed it.
I just said it was wrong and it changed. I changed my mind about it. They're gonna grow. They could totally be 5s, bro. I know because I had a person who came to me and said they felt like they were 1, told me their life, and I was like, shit, I'm wrong. Cool, I'll update. Nice.
Okay.
I'm
See
a
how easy that
level
was?
5.
Bada
I've
bing,
come here to
bada
speak
boom.
to all the level 2s. So
Stardust.
I'm sorry. So what more?
Wait, couldn't Max and Lav use this opportunity to kind of say that if you're wrong and you corrected the behavior, isn't that kind of a isn't that kind of an admission that there could be some harm or some bad outcome that could come as a result of you having a ideology that propagates something that's incongruent with your morals? Because my issue with Brittany, and the thing I hope to discuss with Brittany, is that it doesn't feel like she's taking any moral accountability for her system at all. Like, she's saying, I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not beholden to your ethics. That's my problem with what Brittany is doing. Not that I genuinely believe her level system is bad or anything. In fact, I know very little about it. But it's about whether or not, when put with valid criticism, like, if it's kind of the question I want to get to. If I could prove to Brittany that her statements caused somebody to kill themselves, like, would she not feel morally responsible to possibly change those statements if it was, like, also a bad statement? So let's talk about her statement right there, that if you're a 1, nothing you can do will change the fact that you're a 1, and pretty much you should self-terminate. Like, you're too useless to even self-terminate, right? That statement. If there was, like, a series of individuals that had suicidal ideation and killed themselves as a result of that being broadcast, would she not feel an ethical obligation to change it? You know? Because I don't feel like she would. I feel like with all of the responses that she has had to Lav and Mr. Girl's point, I think what she would just say, human's gonna human. I'm doing my own thing, and you're doing your own thing. But I feel like for public content creation, when we're making moral claims, you need to understand that anything you say is good or bad will be taken often as prescription. And you need to at least be beholden to some manner of guidelines, ethical guidelines. So yeah.
What specifically, I'm just trying to understand, Max, what more would you want from her? Like, when you're saying, like, she disagrees with it now, and I'm hearing you don't think that she's taking responsibility for that. What is the extra step that you're asking for? Like,
okay, well, here's what I would do. If somebody showed me a video of myself that in some fucking deranged fit I recorded saying that level 1s, the lowest rung of people on society, will never get better. They're a virus, and they should kill themselves. If I sounded like, a Nazi cult leader, if I saw myself saying that, the first thing I would do is I would take the video down. The second thing I would do is I'd probably upload a live stream of myself watching the video, and I would say, hey, I did something really harmful. I did something that could actually hurt or even kill people, and I think it's really important that I take responsibility for this. I hear your feedback. I thank you for giving me this feedback, and let's go through the video, and I want to explain how I was wrong, and I'll explain my updated views on this so that I can create a safe place.
You're just mad that I've turned into a podcast?
I agree with Mr. Girl on this. Rises, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. You weren't already a member? Felt like you had
instead
joined a little bit ago. Thank you.
It's in literally all my podcasts, all my updated podcasts.
Are there a lot of people coming out saying
in
that
this conversation, and continuing in this conversation, if somebody came to me and said,
so there's not.
hey,
so now I'm like completely moved over to Brittany's side. I'm like, if this helps like most people
in this conversation, shut the fuck up, shut up now. In this conversation, if somebody came to me and said, hey, you said something that was really harmful potentially to mentally vulnerable people.
What do you think is the likelihood that the people that you harmed are actually going to see?
I'm sorry.
That has nothing to do with what you just asked me what I want her to do. You asked me what I want her to do. What I want her to do is when somebody tries to hold her accountable.
I haven't done a lot of speaking. You know that's true. I haven't done a lot of speaking.
When somebody tries to hold
Maximus,
this
is breaking my heart.
His full name
Then you
is
do this.
Max.
I let you finish all the time. I need to get some satisfaction.
When somebody asks me, like no, do not let Kyla get away with that fucking question. It's so
there's
fucking
always
slimy.
something else,
no,
though.
No, Dan, no, I will not be fucking slimed out again.
Hurry
No,
up.
Fuck,
You got
no.
30 seconds.
Okay,
Go.
great.
Be fast.
What I would want her to do beyond what I just described is when somebody challenges her on it, to not say...
If you said being racist is bad and suicidal people with natural human discrimination catastrophized and felt like they were the devil and committed suicide, would you feel the need to caveat? Genuinely, if it was like an epidemic, oh yeah. Because there's clearly something that I don't know that some people are internalizing in a way, and it costs me nothing to go, don't kill yourself over this. There's a way to handle criticism about whether or not you're racist better. Like one of the, that's kind of my perspective. Do I agree that's kind of out of the way? Yeah. I think you can have arguments and understandings within a reasonable context, right? What your point is about is kind of separate to what I answered. I feel like what you're meaning to address is if somebody does something unreasonable with a statement I made. For instance, if I said yellow flowers are good and I think red flowers are bad, and then every single person on earth who liked red flowers killed themselves and like shot up schools, like would I then feel like probably not? Like there was nothing that I said that could reasonably in any way, shape, or form incline somebody to do such a thing. So I wouldn't hold them responsible. So it has to do with whether or not it's reasonable from your words that some negative effect might come as a result, right? That isn't even my argument towards Brittany Simon. It sounds like what Brittany Simon is saying, even if it is reasonable, let's talk about the original claim of whether or not level 1s are too useless to kill themselves and there's nothing that there's no help they could receive to no longer be level 1s. I think it is reasonable to say that some of her followers might hurt themselves, self-delete or otherwise, maybe just commit to self-harm as a result of that. I think that is reasonable. That if she kept that position up and she repeated that position, or that her system had that position for a long enough period of time, it is reasonable to say that there would probably be some kind of, if there was some self-harm, it would make sense, right? I want to know if she feels as though she is responsible for that. And if her answer is yes, then cool, we break bread, that's it. I'm not saying her system right now is bad. I don't even know what it is. But it just feels like right now, there is no accountability for her as to whether or not people following her system can reasonably do, can cause her to be morally indicted.
Not take the defense, oh, I'm just silly, Brittany, it doesn't matter what I say.
No, that's not true. It's only if they would end their own life, straw waffle.
Then take the defense of, oh, everybody does. Yo, you do this, I do it. Then take the defense of...
75% of all of this is based on clip chimping. That's not true at all. Well, sorry, are you talking about the video? I don't even... Maybe the video, like this video we're watching, but what I just discussed was not a clip chimp. Literally, Brittany came in, we watched the video, and then she said, I no longer have that opinion. So, clearly she didn't think it was clip chimped enough to say that. She just was like, yeah, that opinion that I said in the video, I no longer have. If they were true followers of Brittany, by being ready to kill themselves, they'd realize they're at least level 2s, because 1s can't... Right, you're fucking memeing, dude.
Oh, you're re-traumatizing me and I am mentally ill. I'm mentally ill, so I can't be held accountable for the mental health of people who watch my channel who are also mentally ill. After taking all of those potential exits, when confronted with the fact of what she actually fucking said, then she says, oh, yeah, never mind, okay, I did disavow that. Instead, the first thing she should say is, yes, I have put out messages that are harmful to mentally ill people.
No, she doesn't need to do all this. I don't agree, especially in a debate where it's like she's pseudo being interrogated. I don't agree with this from Max's position, that Brittany needs to kind of tuck her tail between her legs and say, well, right, yeah, no, I did make a really big mistake and she doesn't need to do that with every single debate that she's changing position. She could, when she was in my chat, like I said, I was like, hey, Brittany, this is pretty bad. What's up? Do you still hold this position? And she's like, nope. And I'm like, okay. And we just moved on. That's how it should be. Nope, I no longer hold that position. Thumbs up. Moving on.
I have done and said
Max,
terrible things, and I'm willing to take
going on a
accountability
30
for
second
them.
thing.
Let him finish.
Now,
So bored.
I'm willing to take accountability for it right now. I absolutely shouldn't have
Wait,
said
is
that.
Mr. Girl 40 years old? Wait, is Mr. Girl actually 40? Like, honest?
You're right, and I'm on
He looks really good for 40.
your side. Instead, she's got these other 4 people who have all
Mr. Girl is 37, I thought? Oh, okay.
completely fucking deluded
I
themselves
would have guessed he was 32. I would have guessed 32.
into thinking that they are emotionally and psychologically impervious to words on the internet because it's part of our job description that we fucking tell ourselves that when it's obviously not true, all on her side.
But that's still what no one's saying.
No.
You and I have had a conversation.
Why not just
No,
go
no.
over the Brittany 20-minute video at this point? Which one, Straw Waffle, are you referring to? Are you talking about her level system video? We already went through what I consider to be the most egregious parts of it.
No.
Plus, she seems to have changed her opinion on at least one thing about it. I think going over a video that she has claimed she's changed at least one opinion about it doesn't really make much sense. I'll just go over when I talk to her. I'll talk with her about what's changed, what hasn't.
Oh, it's my turn. God, you guys are fucking obnoxious. Okay, both of you. I want something here, real quick before I do my announcement. Mr. Girl, fucking Brittany, you two are the worst offenders. I want both of you, when this is done, to fucking add up how much each time you guys talk, and then you're gonna realize, holy shit, I'm a fucking selfish cunt. I don't let anyone else talk, especially you, Brittany. Now, that said,
I'm the guest. I'm on her.
that said, okay.
I'm the only man in this. I'm the gay Chad. You guys are all pussies.
When are you talking to Brittany? Not set up yet.
To invite my good friend who will help steer this conversation in the right direction.
Wait, oh no. Another person? Oh god. I don't know. Dan, we've already got you to shit stir here. Do we need another shit stir?
No, you know what? Because you're not listening to me, I had to bring in my backup.
Didn't I tell you I was a top?
His
Ladies and
name
gents.
is Chodimus Maximus here.
Guys, can we
The headmaster, the headmaster of Dogwarts Academy.
Because I also think that this is becoming extremely unproductive, right?
Wow,
Because
just now?
obviously-
Sorry.
Yeah, that's insane. All right, listen, if you guys like the content, if you want to encourage me making similar content on YouTube, if you want to help boost the algorithm so that way more people natively find this video, if you like an ad-free viewing experience, please like it. It doesn't work as well on Twitch. There is no native algorithm to be able to boost that is free or otherwise to help get people into my stream. That's not something that exists on Twitch, but it is something that exists on YouTube. So if you would like that kind of an effect towards me and my content, then please like the video. It's the best way to do it. I appreciate the thought. If you don't want to, it is what it is. But 20 of you thought that that was a good enough reason to like the video. So thank you to you 20.
Obviously, Brittany is not taking any of this seriously. She's not taking any of this seriously. So how do we just like have a completely unproductive conversation? Like, Brittany, are you strong enough to handle people just denigrating you? Like, this is starting to feel like
I'm kind of. Max, should I tell him how my panties are right now?
Stop.
that was super inappropriate and kind of sexual harassment.
Guys, chill. Everyone relax. Everyone relax. Right, listen, everyone listen. Okay, listen,
I actually think I kind of agree with Lav on that one. That was low-key sexual harassment, but
joined, okay? I've got to be real with you.
I wouldn't call her on it. Like, I don't think that's like actually, like, I don't think she actually meant it. It wasn't malicious or whatever. It was a one-off comment or whatever, but it kind of was.
I'm just here to talk about child warts.
No, you're gonna derail the derail of the derail? Is that what we're doing, Dan? Are you serious?
No.
Okay,
listen.
I want Max. I want you and Brittany. Now I want you guys to understand each other.
I already said I don't see Max and I'm okay with it. Am I okay? Is that okay?
Because here's the thing.
I've given you
Max,
marching orders.
you gave all these prescriptions. Max, you gave all these
It's a
prescriptions
joke?
that were like,
Yeah, I know.
you know, you need. If I were you, I would do this. I would do this. I need you to do this. What happens if she never does it? What happens if she never apologizes?
And she'll just be
go. Like,
another self-proclaimed mentally ill YouTuber who cannot actually help anybody, and when she hurts people, she will take the role of victim and say, "You're hurting me by trying to hold me accountable."
And I
There's
agree with you,
probably-
and that's what's happening.
Probably
So
thousands of them out there, all hurting thousands of people.
yeah, I agree with you, but I think that Brittany's in the place where like she cannot right now. I don't think that she's able to introspect enough to change that.
That might be true, and this is why my bigger problem is with the platform itself and not with Brittany.
That makes sense. No, I agree with you there, and I think that all that we can do is just make our voices heard so we can offset people.
Where does it from?
Me screaming in this conversation. I want to be clear. Me screaming in this conversation is because you and Kyla keep running interference for her, and it's fucking infuriating to not be able to say a sentence without you fucking interrupting me and running interference by pretending you're attacking her. It's so annoying and it's so stupid in such a complicated, slimy way. It takes forever to explain it. But if you notice that right now I'm yelling at you and I'm not yelling at Brittany. If I were talking to Brittany about this, I would just say what I like. When I did talk to when I talked to Brittany about it, you'll notice that my outrage is not really. I'm not so incredibly outraged at Brittany. I
actually think it's worth calling her on that, considering Max told her that he was uncomfortable with her being sexual with him in their first chat. Wait, really? So Gunther from offline Twitch chat said, I actually think it's worth calling her on that. I'm assuming it has to do with the sexual harassment thing of the state of her panties directed towards was it panties? Pants? I forget what she said. I think the implication was that, but anyway, considering Max told her that he was uncomfortable with her being sexual with him in the first chat.
I just think it's wrong, and I just want to say it's wrong. My outrage in this conversation is because of the unbelievably irresponsible, slimy interference that you run for Brittany and obviously for Dr. K. And it's mind-blowing that you would come here to fucking run interference for yet another mentally ill fucking narcissist who hurts people and then claims to be a victim when anybody tries to call him out for it.
Well, is it mind-blowing? Isn't it just par for the course?
Why? Can I just ask why is not
I guess I'm getting used to it.
Wait, why?
Destiny loves this. He's just farming views on literal schizo posters in his orbit. He just has schizo posters in his orbit and he's farming it.
Why the Nazi cult leader label? Why did you call her a Nazi cult leader?
Because he's being hyperbolic and bombastic. Brittany, did you hear any of that? And are you like, wait, I can see this?
Girl, we've heard enough from you. Shut the fuck up, okay?
No, let me respond.
No, you guys are fucking. It's not about Mr. Girl and fucking erudite. Can you guys shut the fuck up? All right, Christ Almighty.
Why are we rehashing this again? You guys hate each other. We get it. Get over it.
Yeah, we get it. No, it's not about you two, you selfish motherfuckers. Come on.
I said Nazi cult.
Brittany, are you hearing anything that
Max is saying? No offense. It's like I've heard it all before. I know. I was like, what is new? What is new? What is new? What is new? Don't you guys feel bored?
I said Nazi cult leader, Stardust.
See what I'm saying? Max, she's not hearing anything.
I don't care. I don't give a shit, Lav. I don't fucking care. The reason I said Nazi cult leader is because, thank you for asking, Stardust. The reason is that the Nazis believed that society would be better off without some people. They believed that they were a virus, sucking up oxygen, useless people that are being harmful just by existing, almost identical to Brittany's definition of a level 1. And
yeah, but they were doing it based on like race or genetics, not like their lived behavior. Like, as much as I want to possibly break bread with Mr. Girl on that one, that's a pretty important distinction. Like, if, for instance, he would, I guess it's consistent for Mr. Girl, because I was going to say, what if I said this about pedophiles? But for Mr. Girl, and I would say he has a correct opinion, we probably shouldn't just be, like, fucking killing or saying that all pedophiles should just die or finding ways to kill them or off them in some way. But, yeah, I don't know.
It is a popular opinion that the Nazis just targeted Jews. Jews were only made up half of the people the Nazis targeted. They also killed retarded people. They killed gay people.
Understandable.
They killed anybody who they thought was useless. And so it is the conceptualizing.
Can I ask you a question?
I see what you're saying here.
Let Max finish. Wait, let Max finish. Let Max finish.
As useless vermin that should be put to death, in this case by themselves, that I find Nazis.
MKX.
Okay.
Donate and I'll watch it.
So Brittany, I have a question.
Did you donate, MKX?
So Mr. Girl is alleging that you feel this way about level 1s. Is this true?
No,
not today, MKX. Don't donate today, because I don't know if I'm going to get all the way through this, and I'm definitely not going to get all the way through that after.
I'm alleging that's what she said. I'm not alleging that's how she feels. I completely accept the possibility that Brittany says things.
Did, and now she disagrees with that.
She did
and now you disagree with it, Brittany.
No, I said, okay, guys, I made a video, right? And I was like, this is a really hard idea. How do I get into 20 minutes? And then, being a human, I got on a camera and did it and then posted it, right? And I said in that video, because at the time I thought ones weren't going to get better. I thought they were stuck in a loop. But then I met ones who got better. And I was like, oh, update. So then I updated it. It's in my content. It's all for free, literally, on YouTube. The only thing I charge for is my personal time. And the caller gets to decide what to do with it. Maybe we watch anime. Maybe we don't do anything. Maybe we just sit and look at each other because, I don't know, people are weird. Maybe we talk about their life. Maybe we talk about the levels. It doesn't matter. It's not up to me. I just collect the money because my time is precious.
I've got a quick question, because obviously, you know, if someone wants personal time, they charge a lot of money. Lav, have you got any insight into this level system and having to pay money to find out more about it, one-on-one?
Just you, Lav.
I think that what Brittany is doing is someone paying for friendship and her just being there.
Good point.
And in the same way where you could, okay, I'm obviously learning a lot about codependency right now. And I think that,
oh Lord,
in the same,
I want it noted. Does any brother in the chat got the link? I've lost it. Actually, I don't think I have lost it. I think that I can dig it up. But I want to remind everybody that the individual, Lavloon, who is saying this, talking about the parasociality or paying for friendship, about Brittany Simon. Hold on, let's see if I can't find it. Listen. I want it noted that that Lavloon is shitting on Brittany Simon for having a kind of parasocial relationship with the people on their paid shit. And these are her Patreon tiers. I'll give you a moment to take a browse over this while I just readjust myself. So this is Lavloon, the person who is critiquing Brittany Simon for having parasocial or trying to target people that just want friends on their thing. Okay? And I want you to tell me if this makes it seem as though she's trying to target people who are having friends. First, Patreon tier. Woot woot, $10 per month. You want access to my diary, my essays, my sexy photos, my art. Second tier. You really want to support me. $25 a month. You really like me and want me to be able to feed my pets. Next tier. Heart. You want to postmate me a meal. Next year, I answer all of your messages, any questions, very promptly. Heart, not to be confused with heart, $100 per month. You want me to buy a costume / cosplay getup for a stream, but not done yet. Highest tier, you want me to buy something pretty. Very special. This is the person that's throwing shit at Brittany Simon for having a private interactions with individuals as being looking for individuals who just want friends. That's the business model, is individuals who just want friends. Like, I don't know what to say.
Way where you cannot tell a girl to stop dating her abusive boyfriend, you cannot fucking listen. People do just have to find this shit out for themselves, right? And there really is nothing you can fucking do. So if I genuinely think what Brittany prescribes is wrong.
What?
But if people think it's right,
wrong?
We cannot change their minds. And that's where I'm at.
Okay, while that may be true, it's actually a pointless thing to say in a conversation where you're confronting somebody about their harmful beliefs and statements.
No, because you're trying to change her and you can't.
No, I'm not. I literally am not. The last fucking question you asked me was, what are you going to do if this doesn't change? The answer is nothing. I'm not.
I can list my grievances and then she can decide whether or not to do anything with them. It seems like she's doing nothing with them. So you can yell at her. It does nothing.
Hold on. Maybe she flip-flopped on this position since she streamed and created those tiers after her flop. She, to this day, one of her big points is arguing against the parasociality of sex work. So, no, that didn't... No. But I like where your head is at, JFQT. I like where your head is at. Old video, maybe she's changed, similar to how we know Brittany Simon changed her position. I like where your head is at. But I'm afraid that's not the case.
But well, I'm wondering, Brittany, I'm wondering, Brittany, what level would you put?
Bro, they accuse her of running a sex cult, not pretending to be people's friends. That's a good point as well, Gunther, that they're kind of getting away with right now. Their indictment was much heavier. I also don't like how Lav is kind of getting away with making heavy statements prior to Brittany getting in, making heavy statements even after Brittany has gotten in, and Mr. Girl as well, and then not, like, really nailing... Well, Mr. Girl explained his thought process, but even if I do believe that is flawed, I think that you do need to own up to, like, Lav can't just go like, well, I can't convince her, so I'm not going to make any of this. Well, you talked a big game. You talked about how she was running some weird sex cult, and you said that she was doing terrible things. Like, she has a reprehensible engagement with her audience. You need to justify that. Even if she doesn't accept it, I feel like she needs to put it more plainly.
That, roughly, where would Lav sit on your level system?
Months. No, she seems like she's pretty secure in her bubble and doesn't want to be open-minded, so maybe a 2.
A 2? Jesus.
Maybe. Like a 2B.
So, Brittany,
how do you feel about that, Lav? That's pretty low.
On the panel would you exterminate? Which ones of us on the panel would you exterminate?
Well, I don't know Lav very well, so not her. Dan, I actually think likes me, so I like him, so he'll stay Lav.
To be clear, I actually fucking hate you. It's not a joke.
No.
Okay. Like, I don't want you to think I secretly like you and we're gonna be friends.
Which one of us
if
on
I
level
saw you,
ones
I
that you
would cross
exterminate?
the street.
I don't think any of you are both useless to yourselves or your communities as far as I know. So none of you could be ones.
Okay, and we all recognize that this is fucking retarded, right? Like, we all recognize that this means nothing to us.
Yes, we do.
Level system.
The level system is retarded.
Brittany is obviously harming people by telling people that they should level people, clearly, right? And so everyone watching this, what Brittany is doing is wrong.
Gaslit on the internet right now?
What Brittany is doing is wrong. Her life and her brain is not the way that society exists. She is in a delusion. And
wait, hold on, wait, real quick. We're using
this sounds like something a level
we're using
one would say.
Stop. Hold on. We're using a lot of really strong words, okay? Here's the reality. Wait, real quick. Everybody has ways that they view the world and organize people, okay? We write people off in different ways. We get close to people in different ways, right? Brittany has a more formalized system, which leaves it more vulnerable to attack. I agree. But to dismiss somebody's way of viewing the world is silly when we all have individual ways of viewing the world.
Wait a second.
And also,
wait a second.
What's your way, Destiny? What's your way, mate?
Wait.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I want to hear from Destiny.
Wait. Dismissing people is coded into her worldview. While I agree that we all, unfortunately, as like a vice, slip into dismissing people, I don't think any of the rest of us are going out saying you should dismiss people.
Number one, you're wrong.
I think there is some people you should absolutely dismiss. I would take that argument. I think people that just like shit stir, just call you a piece of shit, but say nothing constructive about anything that you're doing. Like, I'm not talking about, oh, you're a piece of shit for your opinion on black people. I'm talking about just like, kill yourself. Like, people that say that, like, just kill yourself. Like, yeah, just dismiss them. Who cares?
You're dead wrong. It is crucial. It is probably one of the most important things for a human to do, to be able to dismiss people. I know you know that, and you just said something because you weren't thinking. No. But yes, hold on. It is one of the most... As anything.
As subhuman, useless people?
As nobody that you would want in your life. This is literally one of the most important skills.
Totally agreed. Agreed. But I'm talking. I thought you meant dismiss people like in a systemic. You are useless.
Would the world be better off without them? Absolutely not. They're just heated. They're angry about some shit. I don't know.
And a vampire on society type of.
You can do that if you want. If Brittany was advocating violence or something,
no, you can't do that if you want. It's wrong. Don't just fucking slip that in there. It is wrong to do that.
Okay.
While we all might do it by accident, Brittany is the only person who is calling to do it.
I don't know.
Brittany, are you calling to exterminate level 1s or level 0s?
No. I don't.
Well, no,
have
hold on. It's not about
that's
explicitly.
not a fair question.
Wait, and also hold on. That's also not Max's criticism. Max's criticism is not that she's calling to exterminate somebody. Max's criticism is that her system is leading people who adopt it to write off people wholesale and view them as worthless to society. Not that he's calling for extermination. So if you're gonna,
And if they're suicidal, it'll make them more
exactly, yeah. So at least,
Max's argument is that people will misunderstand my work and take it in the wrong way and hurt themselves.
or even
You are framing it that way.
No, this is where I previously was talking about accountability. I think even within our own system, like, you understanding her work or whatever could imply that somebody of, I don't know, level 1 might think that, oh, it takes too much work to get to like level 5, shit ain't worth doing, you know, GG, no re, good luck, better luck next time, back to lobby. Like,
Sure.
I am
aiming that way.
Hurt themselves.
I understand this, but I radically.
do you think there exists people who the world would be better off without? Of course. Yeah.
Accept that humans are going to human. I try my best with this.
But I would argue that I prefer a rigorous court system to any kind of like extermination of people. Of course there would be. Like individuals about to commit a mass shooting. If they got popped out of existence, that would be better for existence. In my opinion.
Disclaimers. I speak very clearly. I try my best within my language. I'm neurodivergent. I'm a little special. I'm going to use that as a little getaway card. You know why? Because you're not giving me anything. I'm not intelligent, so I can't make decisions. I'm so intelligent, I'm tricking you. Make a decision. I'm a person. I went through something. I shared it with the internet. I want to find people who are like me and who want to have a discussion. I'm a human.
Well, I'm just looking at your
I'm like
Patreon
almost-
here. Sorry, I'm just looking at your Patreon here, right? And the top level is $250 for an hour-long call. And the first option I can see is personal chat, help with your journey through the levels. I know you don't want to give the game away too much, but what would I be in for on one of those calls, talking about the levels, just roughly?
We can do a call right now. You want to do one?
Yeah, sure, go on.
Okay, so you've called me.
What do you do with Lav? Do it with Lav. Do it with Lav. Lav's a level 2. Let's get
do
Lav
it
up
with
to level
Chad.
3.
No, do
No,
it.
do
No.
it.
All Brittany is saying are those people she calls level 1s within her system. I'm not trying to say her system is bad because level 1s are seen as like useless or whatever. You're confusing my position with Max's position. I think that there are people that society would be better off without. That the world would be better off without. For instance, right now, I think if Vladimir Putin didn't exist, died, but just didn't exist. I don't believe in just killing people for that shit. Didn't exist. I think the world would be a better place, and I feel like that's an easy argument to make. Am I wrong?
Do it me, do it me.
Is Destiny?
No, I want to do
Wait,
it.
hold on.
I wanna
Chud
do it.
literally had
Chud is in blackface right now.
Fine, no, let Lav do it. Let Lav do it. Let Lav do
No,
it.
Chud is in blackface. We don't want to give him more attention.
We don't know if Chud
Yes,
is black
Baba
yet.
T-Dog, yes I am.
I could
I
be
think
a
that's
multitude of races.
Okay, Brittany, I
Mixed
called. I found your video and I'm like in a really, really tough spot. I like my fiance just left me. I have BPD and I feel like I really need like someone who really knows and who's like ascended to give me advice.
Oh, okay. First of all, red flag. Hi, I'm Brittany. I'm happy to talk with you. I'm hearing a little, like that's complicated, right? Thanks for telling me who you are. But red flag on ascending. I don't know what that.
I wouldn't accept this conversation with this person. I think out the gate you shouldn't accept this conversation with this person. They are clearly coming to you. In Lav's hypothetical, they are clearly coming to you with the purpose of trying to get their life back on track when they should be doing that with a therapist. I think it is very, very clear that's exactly what they're doing. I guess what you could say is I'll accept the talk only as much as to tell you to go to therapy, but like, nah, I don't agree with this.
Means, can you give me like in your language what that means?
So like if you're
We couldn't learn from their mistakes. It is a very valid point that you're bringing up. That's pretty true, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. I don't think we have to have somebody get shot in a mass shooting to learn that mass shootings are happening or whatever. So like, let me give you an example. Would you say that in order to really learn the lesson as to why we should, or in ways we should try and stop mass shootings, that if the Uvalde school shooting didn't happen because the cops, like, I don't know, they had a cop outside of the school and they stopped the shooting, would you say that that's like my bad, would that's a worse outcome because it didn't happen? Like, I think we would all agree that we would still recognize it as potentially being really bad, and we could still learn our lesson from no kids dying.
a level 5 and I'm like a level like 2, then like obviously I want to know how to get to your level, which is like seemingly the highest introspection level. Like I want to be as introspective as you.
For sure. Why?
Because it seems like I want to get better. I want to feel better.
Oh, dude, you don't have to be 5 to get better. You don't have to be anything but yourself and follow your joy. Simple pimple, right? So, like, what's really going on? So you have borderline? Do you see a therapist?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so that's handled. Let's talk about being a whole human being. So mental health, handled. How's your money? You financially okay? Is job, work okay?
Yeah, great.
Perfect. Okay. What about your fitness, your health, your relationship with your body?
Great.
What? Okay, girl. Well, shoot. Okay. What about your spiritual health, your connection to like the universe or your religion, or what do you believe in?
Yeah, I guess I don't believe in anything. I'm feeling kind of like boundless. Like I'm feeling like I'm feeling it like lost.
This is a bit weird. This is anybody else feeling that's just negative $250?
In the dark.
For sure. Okay, perfect. So we have like one we have to work on, right? How about your trope in the anime, your trope in the story? Do you know who you are? Like, you know how we're all kind of tropes? Like, someone's like the alpha masculine Giga Chat, someone's the bisexual bottom boy like Destiny, someone's like the angry like activist like Mr. Girl, right? So like, what are you? Like, what's your trope?
I think I'm a floater. I think that I go in and out of things.
Ooh, okay, I like that. I like that. How long have you been watching my work?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay,
Trying to figure out a thing. I've never, yeah.
Wait, can I just want to touch in quickly, Lav? Do you feel like you got value for money? Bear in mind, this would normally be $250. You spent $250, value for money, yes or no?
Or do you
Well,
feel
not
like it
yet,
was
but I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna change me yet.
Sure,
like
but just
3 minutes.
no, sure,
Yeah.
but just an initial feeling. Like, are you thinking, I'm glad I spent $250, or are you going to be thinking like,
Okay,
this
hold
is
on,
a
stop.
waste
This
of
is
money?
such a wait, no, wait, stop. I'm gonna kick people. I'll kick people. Hold on, stop. This is a fucking stupid thing, okay? You would answer these same questions for a fucking $2,000 doctor visit, okay? You can't ask a question like 2 minutes into questioning. Getting like a formal baseline evaluation of a person is going to be essential to literally any appointment you'll ever take in your entire life. Like, how can you stop right now? Like, you go into a doctor, they take your blood pressure and they take your temperature, and you're like, do you feel like you're getting your money's worth? Well, no, they haven't done anything yet. Sorry, that was just a exceptionally.
Wait a second.
question.
Are you really saying what's happening now is comparable to someone taking your blood pressure? That seems fucking retarded.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's
Hold on.
man.
Actually, I will compare this. If somebody used to build
Wait,
computers,
guys, I'm enjoying my
I'm about to
fucking
kick you.
call.
Stop. Okay.
She paid $250, dude.
Listen, what-
She's only got an hour, dude. An hour.
The most important things that you can do with a meeting for anybody. This is actually, I'll give you a heuristic that I can use to test if somebody's fucking full of shit every single time I listen to somebody. And I apply the shit test to every person I meet in my entire life. Okay? When people would come to me or when people would go to somebody, they ask to build a computer. Okay? The number one most important question you have to ask before you even begin to recommend parts is, what are you going to use it for? If somebody starts rattling off part lists before they even know what the computer's for, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. If somebody goes to somebody else for help, or they're hurting in some way, they're trying to figure it out, and the other person doesn't even try to establish a baseline for where that person is at, and they just start saying, okay, well, listen up, this is what you need to do. You got to go out to the bar and party. You got to do the blah, blah, blah. Wait, you don't know that. You have to figure out a baseline of where this person's even at so that you know where to meet them. So her questioning in terms of figuring out like, hey, how's your health here? How do you feel about this? How do you do that? How do you feel about this? That is essential to even begin the conversation. If you try to begin the conversation without doing that, you're selling snake oil every time. Just in my opinion. Sorry. Okay.
Feels pretty.
Milady.
But I thought the critique was whether or not she's giving advice to individuals who are like, this just springs up the good old, what is it, the life coaching debate, whether or not it's ethical to give people life coaching.
Just to understand, like, do you guys have an issue with life coaches?
I think if someone has like
Allah!
expertise,
Not pre-watched.
Life coaches anyone can be a life coach. You just have to call yourself a life coach. There's not really even a registration. Do we have an issue? Because they exist, by the way. There's lots of them. Are we okay with that?
No, I feel like that's spooky, right? The potentiality for harm is like really big.
I'm afraid of the world sometimes too, girly.
I think it depends, but I think that life coaches should not work with mentally ill people, and I think
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's probably something that should be the case. Or if they do work with mentally ill people, well, I think they'd have to be licensed if they're going to work with mentally ill people. At that point, are they even life coaches?
people who broadcast that they themselves are mentally ill should not be life coaches.
I agree also with that.
No, I don't agree with that. I think you can be mentally ill and be a life coach.
Wait,
especially if you're a life coach on how to deal with that mental illness from like your perspective. But I don't think you should be giving that to other people, that advice. But talking about your life through that and shit like that, I don't think there's any, like, if you're like a life coach who has, I don't know what you would quantify as a mental illness. Let's talk about DID, right? And you're like talking about your experience with DID and empathizing with people, but not like trying to, well, fuck, it depends on what he defines as life coach. Fuck, I'm actually not sure. Because I don't think you should be giving people advice on how to live their life with BP or DID, because that's obviously what a therapist would be there for, is figuring out ways that you can deal with that, but you can be certified. What do those certifications mean? You could do life coaching alongside therapy usually, sure.
Hold on, wait a second. Hold on, I'm curious if you would commit to...
If you're a life coach, should you not take clients who have mental illnesses even if they go to a therapist? I don't care about mental illnesses. I care about suicidality. I think that, or like depression. I think the stakes are way higher there. Like if somebody is suicidal or something and you're a life coach, I feel like it's probably pretty fair to say or assume that they're going to you as a life coach as a way to try and reduce their suicidality or make their depression better, which you might be able to do, but I would leave that up to a therapist or psychiatrist. I have a timestamp from a Mr. Girl stream that is the most parasocial engagement I've ever seen. It goes on for like 20 minutes. Drop the link. If we're going to define mental illness as a nebulous thing that anyone can accuse anyone of, then why wouldn't someone do what Britt does? There's at least 2 mentally ills in this call.
It says that they're mentally ill. Do you continue to treat them and start becoming their therapist?
I'm not a therapist, but like I reached them like...
I came up to you and I said, yeah, I have really bad borderline and I don't know what to do. And you said, I'm not getting therapy. What would you say?
No.
Oh.
Even if you are getting therapy, I don't think she should work with you, is my stance.
Wait, can I probe that a little? I don't think you actually believe that. There's 2 parts to this. One, you said that if somebody has a particular type of mental illness, they shouldn't be a life coach. And the second was that you shouldn't work with people with mental illness. So on the first part, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong on this, but I don't think you're ever considered like cured of borderline. So if you've ever diagnosed with borderline, I think you kind of have it forever. Like I don't think that a therapist is like, oh, like you've cured it. That's something you manage forever. So you think those people should be cut off from all forms of like life coaching for everybody else?
At what point?
To some degree, yeah.
Wait. When I say you shouldn't do it, I'm not saying it should be illegal.
I'm not. Yeah, we're just talking morals right now.
I know, it's just your opinion,
okay,
right?
Yes. I think if you have borderline, I think your therapist should determine whether or not you can handle a life coaching relationship. Because the thing about borderline is you're really bad with boundaries, and anybody who has bad boundaries themselves is really going to fuck you up and hurt you a lot more, even if you think you're having a nice time, and even if you think they're being nice to you.
Sure.
So you can only have relationships with people who are going to be very, very careful and highly trained in maintaining relationship boundaries.
Sure, that's true and that's fair, but there could be a multitude of mental illnesses that can inhibit your ability to form like boundaries, right? So all of the cluster B diagnoses theoretically, right?
I don't think a life coach should work with any of those people.
No, hold on, wait. I'm just talking about who could be a life coach. It just seems like an extreme statement that if you've ever been diagnosed with any cluster B disorder, like your mental illness, like you can't, or personality disorder.
That's not what I said. I said if you are going around broadcasting yourself as mentally ill, I don't think you should be a life coach.
I think she broadcasts herself as like having
Why
borderline.
Why is it bad to say that certain people can't have certain
jobs?
jobs?
Hold on, let me finish. Wait, oh my god.
Have an addiction history.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, like, first of all,
addiction history is different from going around labeling yourself as a mentally ill person. If you label yourself publicly as mentally ill, I don't think you should be a life coach.
Okay, somebody can correct me if I heard this incorrectly, but I thought I heard Brittany earlier say something like she hadn't had an episode in 3 years or something.
Are addiction counselors not certified? What Erudite just brought up, I would be a little bit uncomfortable with the addiction counselor that has no certifications. It was just an addict and is now not, like, just giving advice to people.
Correct.
So if it is the case
on how to stop being addicted,
you're like, if Brittany was telling me like, oh yeah, like I have episodes all the time, like I'm super borderline, like just yesterday, then I think that there's a strong argument for that. But I think that if you're managing some mental illness or some long-term thing, I don't think that prohibits you from offering advice or trying to help other people, even in the capacity of a life coach. That seems like a pretty extreme stance to take.
Brittany, do you consider yourself mentally ill now?
Yeah, but I'm in recovery. But I also manage any episodes or issues.
Yeah, so I think the answer to that question is yes, you should.
You know, Marsha Linehan also has borderline, and she created DBT. I don't get to see the issue, except it's like ableist, right?
Consider themselves always borderline. They can go into remission with symptoms, but most borderline
I don't think
people
borderline people should. I think I don't have a kind view of life coaching as like a profession. So if anything, I'm very eager to disqualify anybody from having it. If you're borderline, I don't think you should be a life coach. I don't think having relationships should be your job.
Do you think that real quick on that a little bit deeper on that thing? Because I'm curious. Would you also carry that over to therapists? Do you think that therapists that are borderlines in remission, do you think they shouldn't have? Because their potential for abuse is much higher, I would say.
Yes, they should not be therapists.
Okay. So then Marsha Linehan, the founder of DBT, should just probably be tossed out. She should never work again.
I don't. What does she do? She works.
She's borderline, and she developed the treatment for borderline.
But I had.
Yeah, because DBT was literally developed because CBT didn't work on borderline people, right?
Does she work with patients directly?
Yes, and trains practitioners.
Does she work with patients one-on-one?
Yeah.
Then it's a question of like harm.
Then yeah, I guess I don't think she should work with people one-on-one.
So let's get rid of that.
I mean, nobody can say he doesn't own the positions he says, right? Nobody can say he doesn't own it. He owned it.
Well, okay, I understand we disagree. That's fine. But then on the flip side, life coaching should only be available to people that are like super mentally healthy. If you have a mental illness, but you see a therapist and you're working on it, you take medication, you whatever, life coaching is just something you should never participate in.
If the therapist okays it, then I think it's fine. But I don't think you should see a life coach if you're mentally ill.
Who's this therapist?
Whatever therapist whatever the therapist person is seeing.
I'm not a life coach. I am a YouTuber.
Okay, wait, real quick.
Wait, come on, hold on. The way that you sell your services and the way that people use their services, if you engaged with Lav in earnest with how she would engage with somebody that pays her, she absolutely is operating as a life coach.
Hold on, Brittany. You are a life coach, right?
No. I'm literally not.
You charge me
if I
you for an hour.
Wait, hold on, real quick.
No,
we're gonna all talk. Okay, go ahead.
I literally fight. Like I'm telling you right now. I was at a crossroads with this. Like, do I want to be like Grant Cardone? No, he's a scam artist. I don't want to be what's his name? Like, I don't know any of these guys. I want to be these fucking like entrepreneurs.
So
Listen to me.
Make the meta
I'm just sharing my life.
This is the moment.
People pay for my time. No, this is like the anti-sex work argument. You guys think people are bad because you have bad experiences or you see the world as bad. Yes, it is bad. I am trying my best. I am not a bad person.
This is when you are
do not project your insecurities onto me.
This is the most unethical part of what you do.
No, listen to me. You're telling me that I don't have agency. You don't believe in bodily autonomy. You want someone to control me. You think I'm mentally ill. I know, I'm borderline. I get it. I've already read all the threads on Reddit. I get it. It's fucked up. And you know it, Max. And you know
I would like to
I'm newer here. Do you generally agree with Destiny's viewpoints on things or oppose them? I generally agree. I have a couple of things that I want to have a discussion with him about, unfortunately. Recently, I have not had as much time to do things outside of my typical streaming hours. That even goes as far as like certain things that I probably should be doing, like things like programming, things like going to the gym, because I've been sick, very sick recently. Like right now, I'm probably one of the sickest I've ever been, next to when I had COVID. So yeah, I'm very sick, very ill. I've been sick for a while. I don't really know what I'm trying to get to a doctor's appointment to figure out what's going on, but I'm not in a place that's convenient to get a doctor's appointment. I have to, like, I'm not in my hometown right now, so I'm gonna have to wait a little bit before I do it. So, but I do want to have some conversations with Steven about some. But for the most part, I agree on like 90%, 95+%, I'd say, of the shit that Destiny's. And where the disagreements are, they feel so asinine or small, usually rhetorical disagreements, that it doesn't feel worth engaging.
I would like to respond. I think this is the moment that I was talking about where what I think is the most unethical part of what you do. When people try to, in good faith, hold you accountable for your actions.
It's not good faith. You just don't see me. You just see me as a crazy person.
Foop, what's your name in Twitch? It's not Foop, is it? I don't recall you.
Which is just what everyone else sees me as. Except my therapist, except my friends that see me. Why doesn't Steven think I'm insane? Does Kyla think I'm insane? If so, then I'm under an illusion. Maybe I am.
I think Steven is in good faith questioning your what is
What
right
about
and
my
what is
parents?
wrong.
I hold a job. I pay taxes. What is wrong
going
with
on?
me?
I
Wait,
think
what's going on?
Steven,
You're
Labs,
spiraling.
don't Labs, shut up. I know it's very distracting, but you gotta keep your eye on the fucking ball. I think
No,
Steven
you're-
is in
Max,
good faith.
you're being, like,
Labs, shut the
harmful.
fuck up. Shut up. Steven, I think in good
Chill,
faith you're
Labs.
asking questions about life coaching in good faith. In response, Brittany, you're saying, "Oh, I'm not a life coach." And is that moment where you're unwilling to have a conversation, where you even answer a question about the morality or ethics of what you do? That is you at your most unethical. And the playbook always comes out that you bring
No,
up
wait, stop. Can we
harassment
eject them in a
or yourself
conversation?
as
Let's
mentally ill,
Let's just
and you reframe it so that
You're
you
being
do it every
she did that.
time.
Wait, I agree she did that. But let's just eject them in a conversation. Just pursue the line of questioning. Okay, just do that instead of having the meta framing of like this is what you're doing. Just so here's a question, Brittany. Do you think that it's reasonable that somebody could view your services as that of a life coach? If I go to buy your Patreon, I'm looking for life coaching, essentially, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
so I call it mentorship, and
Sure.
I tell them, hey, what I do here is like
What
I just
the
share my life. I
fuck?
chill with you, bro.
Bro, we're on multi-level marketing levels of tomfuckery here, bro. Bro, it's not a pyramid scheme, it's a multi-level marketing scheme, dude. It's fucking, what is it? What did they say? It's not multi-level marketing, it's I think they literally used mentorship as a argument. It was Sneeko and Tate, right?
I'm not a professional. I'm a
mentor
college dropout.
program.
Sure, but the
I hope
goal
this
is
can
people
help.
are ultimately like trying to buy guidance from you because they feel
No,
like
that's the problem. That's the misconception. It's whatever the caller wants. I'm not here to talk about it. I've been talking to people for years that watch anime with me that like literally
Sure, hold on.
never
I
talk about
understand.
the levels.
Diversion. Don't care.
No.
Wait. Hold on.
No,
I
no, no,
don't-
no, no.
Wait,
It's,
you don't think that's kind of weird that people are paying you to watch anime with them? I feel like that's kind of weird in and of itself. Like, I feel like it's pretty clear they want like a friend or something, and they're literally paying you to be their friend. I wouldn't accept that from somebody. No.
it's not a diversion.
You know,
How
it's
people
diversion
handle
because
it-
with the conversation you're
That's why
having.
we negotiate. We talk about consent. I say, how's your mental health? I send you to the professionals. I'm just a person. The only thing they
Some
can come to me
people
for
just need people to talk to. Yeah, but they shouldn't be paying people to do that. And I don't really. This kind of goes against. This kind of goes with my critique of OnlyFans shit. Is like, technically, could we say that these lonely men who are giving women money for like DMs or whatever, could we say that they really need that kind of attention and shit? Yeah, sure. But I think it is predatory to give that. I think there's a predatory relationship.
is a whiteboard. I am just a mirror. So they tell me their thoughts. I problem solve like a puzzle because I like puzzles.
Gotcha.
And then I give it back
When-
to them.
when
and
somebody
say,
comes-
They might feel like they can't do anything else. That's not relevant. All right, some old lady might feel like she's at her wit's end with how the fuck to, I don't know, do her goddamn taxes, and I could do a terrible job and then take her money, but I shouldn't because that's not ethical. What the ethical thing would do would be to send them towards better services that actually provide them some kind of real path to recovery. Not just go like, well, you're down bad and you're willing to give me money, so I should take it. Like, I feel like that's kind of a staple for cringe.
Somebody, yeah. So what you're describing right there could be seen as,
if they need it.
Sure, is a form of life coaching, right? If I come to you and I say,
Dax, you are fucking lost. Dax, you are lost. If you think me spending time with my friends with no money involved at all is the same as me spending money for somebody to sit in a call with me and act as though they're my friend. That is completely different. What are you talking about? Me genuinely just hanging out with my friend because they want to spend time with me, and me spending time, and that your definition, time is money, that is ridiculous that you are drawing that comparison. That is a ridiculous comparison. That's like saying my intimacy with, I don't know, my wife or something is the same as the intimacy with my, I don't know, somebody I pay to be intimate with. Because at the end of the day, my wife's paying with her time, and then I'm paying with my money. Like, that's just stupid. You're completely missing the key component, which is a genuine desire to be around that person, irregardless of the financial stakes. Not all transactions are equal, so then your point is not relevant. If not all transactions are equal, then your point is not relevant. Because the unequal nature of these transactions makes one unethical and the other one not.
I disagree because life coaching lives in a bubble where people are like this and they're like selling you, I'm an expert. How can you be an expert in life? I'm not an expert in life. I only know my life. I'm an expert in Brittany's life. And I'm using Brittany's tools with the world if it helps them. And if it doesn't, totally get it. I'm so sorry. I wish you the best. Most of the time, if people get blocked, they get refunded.
Okay,
right? I'm really
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
No, you don't. You're not
I do. No, you're not saying. I understand what you're saying.
That's
but
fine.
No,
That's fine. Just like sex work is different everywhere.
No, we're
like
not talking about sex work. Hold on. This is so.
No, but you are. I agree. I'm in a subset of, but I'm not as important as you're making me sound.
No,
I'm
no one
just
is
a
trying to make you
person
sound important.
chilling.
Okay, you have a much narrower definition of life coach than I think what a lot of people would have. Because I think there are a lot of people that would say that.
Yo, Ryan. Thank you for the $20. So frustrating to see Lav go so hard and be so smug, but gets traumatized by Destiny calling her B one time. Also, somehow Mr. Girl can talk to her this way, and it's okay because he didn't use the dreaded B word. What? That is so oppressive. I agree. Ryan, I feel like he's been going really hard on Lav. I don't know what the relationship was leading up to this. 2 months ago, I don't know what the relationship. We're friends now, right, Relly? Yeah, of course, because it's not a predatory thing at all for me to be friends with people that pay me money.
Like a life.
Now you're in my Uber Plus package where we can be kind of friends. Pay $50, then we might be able to watch some TV shows together.
Coach could be a dude that goes with you and walks to the park and helps you feed ducks to find happiness. Some people might say like, oh, that's like a form of life coaching.
That's fine.
Sure.
If you want to call me life coach, I'm okay with it. It's just not how I see myself.
But you don't sell like
I think you said people come to you as puzzles and then you solve them.
Sure.
If that's what they want. Some people just watch anime with me. Some people never talk about the levels. Some people just like want to play games with me. I don't get it.
Yeah, we're not talking about the other people. We're talking about the people that are coming to you for some sort of guidance. That is
when
fair.
When do we get to buy you Postmates costumes for stream? Well, technically, when I went shopping yesterday, I used my money from stream, so you kind of already have. And I'm gonna go shopping and buying more clothes later today. So there you go. Okay, to be fair to Lav, she said on Twitter that she didn't actually care about Des calling her a bitch. Cap. That makes it worse because she was making a big deal about it. What? Like, that makes it worse. She was making a big deal about it, and then she's like on Twitter later like that. I don't know. I'd have to see the tweet, but that makes it worse. Hey, if you take a mortgage on your house and send all of your money to Ahrelevant, he'll be your friend.
Say that this is like a form of life coaching.
Yes,
now you're not selling like a hard.
mentor.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay.
I like that word better. Isn't that a better word?
You can use it as a different word, but to people like Mr. Girl, you're gonna sound evasive when you say that, right?
But Erudite, I agree. I'm okay with this. Can we agree to live and let live, or no? Do I have to be beholden to someone else's ethics when I'm just a person?
No, I think to a degree you have to deal with the fact that other people are gonna view you in a negative light, and you're gonna have to deal with the fact that some people might agree with it to the point of you losing your career, you losing your public reputation, you losing your public credibility. Nobody's saying that she has to agree or even pay attention to the haters. Nobody's saying anything like that. But no, yeah, I genuinely believe other people's opinion of you should be able to affect your life. Because at the end of the day, guess what? We literally have to do things together as a civilization. We have to do that. We have to cohabitate and cooperate as a civilization of people.
Yeah, I'm just saying for when you're engaging with Max.
Oh, true. And if you want to support my content and me being on stream and help buy me more outfits and fund me going to the gym and fund me learning how to drive and fund me learning how to program, then please like the video. It helps me a lot, okay? Liking the video allows the algorithm to know that there are people who are interested in this content, so that way it pushes it to more people, random individuals who may have never heard of Destiny, never heard of me, never heard of Mr. Girl, Erudite, Stardust, Lav, Dan, or Chud Logic, of course, Brittany. Now, all of these people, right, might not even be within the target audience that YouTube pushes this content to. It is just trying to broadcast it because YouTube's trying to push streaming really hard to try and compete, obviously, with Twitch. So if that's something you want to do, if you want to help support me in my journey on YouTube Live, then please like the video. It's free, and yeah, good business for me. What else? Oh yeah, it also supports the ad-free viewing experience because I don't run ads on YouTube in comparison to Twitch because Twitch I forced to. A certain amount, forced to. mid-roll and pre-roll. I'm forced to. But on YouTube, I believe it's only pre-roll. And then I never have to run ads again. So I'm not going to run ads.
His bubble especially is
That's
going to be
fine.
more helpful
So
if
you
you
agree.
identify as a life coach and just bite.
Thank you to the 30 people who liked the video, by the way, after that shout out. 30 of you. Out of your way.
Okay, that's fine. But you're asking me to divert my reality into his so we can talk, correct?
Yeah. That's what we have to do when we talk to
then I
different people. We have
agree.
to make our realities
Max,
kind of converge,
yes,
right?
you
Yeah.
could call me a life coach. I agree.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the issue?
The issue is that when people try to hold you accountable about the ethics of your behavior, you are extremely resistant and evasive, and takes forever to get you to answer a question or even acknowledge that you're doing what you're doing. And I think that is one of the most unethical parts of what you do.
I know, but I don't know what the issue is because I'm following my values. So what's the problem?
The problem is that you don't take responsibility for anything.
Okay, wait, hold on. Tell her something she doesn't take responsibility. Instead of having the meta level conversation telling what she does, just point out a particular thing that you don't think she takes responsibility for, and then go, yeah.
Okay, so in the conversation with Lav, you're modeling for us how you would get to know her and then help her with whatever is wrong with her life. If you are taking that position of authority, I think it's irresponsible for you. I mean, the meta conversation is the conversation. The problem is that that it's irresponsible for there to be no recourse for anybody that you harm in the course of doing this. And I think you're probably likely attracting a very vulnerable population.
I just disagree with the people. I'm expensive, so you can assume I am getting college educated or at least well-off people. I'm usually working with people with money. If they don't have money, I have a payment system for that.
That's
and they're usually people who are very introspective. That's usually why they find me. I'm not just any channel, right? I'm a niche. That means my customer client base is niche. They're all old. They're usually about my age or older. I have people all the way into their 80s, right?
I would say they either are desperate to look for help or need help for some reason, or they have a parasocial relationship with you, or both.
I understand that.
What's the payment system? You can split the payment, can you, or something?
No, there's just a price for people, like original price that I used to do calls at, and then, well, I have a new price now because the demand is there.
Okay.
And I want to have a baby and own a house and get married, so I got to make a living. I live in America.
So
I'm the breadwinner.
So it's just whatever you find unethical about life coaching in general. I have some qualms.
I think the scam part I have a problem with. I'm just not offering any. I've never lied. I don't lie. So I don't lie about what I do.
Thank you for the $10.
If people don't like their call, they get a refund, and I thank them for their time. If anyone ever complains, they get a refund, and I say thank you so much. Obviously, I wasn't helpful, but like I'm not trying to harm anyone. No, you're asking me to join other people's realities and decide I have harmed them when I have within my values stuck to my values. Consent. I check their mental health. I ask if they're working with professionals. I do all of my things, Max. You're asking me to read minds or be something. Yes, there's a path of ethics according to Brittany's values that allow me to stay in line.
The fact that you recognize that all
What's
of these
the problem?
safeguards are necessary.
Yes, of course they're necessary. I'm a human. I've had a stalker.
Mental health coaching. Anybody
I understand. My life is in danger. You're right. Of course, I'm afraid for my life. I keep myself safe by creating rules and boundaries.
You being the victim.
I know, because you're objectifying me as some villain when I'm actually as much of a victim as a possible caller. Which is why together we have to keep each other safe by not objectifying me. No, you. So I don't understand, guys. I am a person.
Steven.
Yep.
The problem with this conversation is that 90% of my energy is going into even being able to speak in the conversation. I can answer your question. I have 3 criticisms, or we can move on to something else. Either way.
You guys are very similar.
No.
I
don't think so.
In every way.
No, I do not. No, no, in different places, but I think that they are
they're wholly
similar in the way that they keep those values.
She's right. There's a part of Max and I that are the same, but it's very
subjectivist you're ever going to
no,
meet.
there's a part.
There's a part. No. She sees it. See, Lav sees a part of me you guys can't see because there is a part of me and Max are the same. I just don't know which part it is. I think it's probably our cynicism.
Okay, if you want to do some like very base level of like, oh, you're both excited to stream, then sure.
I wonder. I wonder if Max, because you've said that you hated me because you saw those parts of yourself.
I believe I said that you're my tumor.
Okay. Do you feel similar with Brittany? Because I feel like you kind of do similar things in that I don't know if you're I don't know if you're mentally ill because you haven't like broadcasted here is my diagnoses like Brittany has, but you do also sort of in your own way give prescriptions. So I'm also wondering if she's saying That she and
you're based.
I have a problem with the way that Brittany is saying that she's like, and these are the rules for introspection. Obviously, Brittany, you probably realize that there are things that you could do better to avoid that. Sure. But I wonder if you are just picking up on the parasociality that you are afraid of that you're going to fall into.
Okay, hold on. No, wait. No, I don't want. No, hold on. I don't want a 20-minute explanation. Stop. Okay, I'm gonna do this in 20 seconds.
I'm saying I'm happy to answer that later.
Yeah, later. Okay, I'll answer it right now. Okay, it's very quick. It's very simple. Okay, similar to the vein of Dr. K, Max doesn't like people coming out with supposed credentials and engaging in relationships that require a large number of external rules to make sure that those relationships are maintained in the most ethical ways possible. There's two big parts of being ethical. One is that you have a set of rules that you follow, and then two is there's some kind of accountability created to make sure that there's some external party or something keeping you honest in that relationship. And similar to Dr. K, he views that Brittany is engaging in relationships, one, in a somewhat unethical way, and then two, in a way that helps her avoid accountability, because anytime you try to pressure her on her lack of ethicalness, he feels that she's dancing between two positions of, you know, I'm a level 5 and I figured it out, I'm going to help people figure that out, and, well, I'm just a YouTuber who knows nothing and does nothing, and whatever I do is like all memes. So that's Max's problem. It's not that he sees something in her or whatever, it's that he feels like she's selling herself as a credentialed person, even if she's not saying that she's credentialed, and that she's engaging in relationships that are kind of unethical and don't have any accountability. That's the issue. Do you think, is that a fair summary, Max?
Yeah.
Okay.
And even if, I don't think you're psychologically equipped to provide the safety rails that are necessary for this kind of relation. I don't think anybody is really individually. I think everybody needs some kind of like supervision or very hyper specific training, but you in particular seemed like you are not equipped to provide these safeguards and boundaries to protect the people that come to you for help.
I don't understand. I can't be a philosopher. I don't understand what's happening.
You're not a philosopher. You're some kind of coach, guru, help.
I think I'm more of a thinker.
Yeah, I think the Lav's father thing was fucking weird. I haven't looked too deep into it, so I'm not going to criticize him heavily for it, but yeah.
I'm a philosopher. That's how I identify. I'm Rand. I'm Diogenes. I'm Socrates. I'm just a thinker, bro.
So here are my 3 problems. 1, you seem like you're psychologically ill-equipped to provide the kind of safeguards and boundaries that people need to stay safe. 2, you will not be held accountable and seem to not even be able to answer simple questions about what it is that you do exactly with people.
I thought I did great with Kyla.
And 3,
you're just mad I don't take you seriously, Max. Grow up.
And 3, your level system espouses a worldview that defines part of society as cancerous.
Bro, pedophiles are cancerous. Sex offenders are cancerous. I'm so bored by you, bro. You know for a fact there's a part of the population you don't like. Dr. K being it all. But listen,
I think it is harmful to the exact population.
You're lying. You're 100% lying.
I think it is.
You're lying to yourself.
Wait, let him finish.
I think it is harmful to the exact population of vulnerable, desperate people that your channel attracts to hear that they are useless.
You don't know my audience. Stop projecting. You don't. My audience is strong and amazing and thoughtful and introspective. Fuck off. Don't tell me who my audience is.
So those in brief, those are my 3 problems with you ethically.
I feel you, bro. I hear you. Thank you for your input. I'll put your notes next to my mother's, who tells me to stop being gay.
And when confronted,
literally, I don't live in your bubble.
When confronted with criticism, every single time there's a reframe where I'm the abusive mother and you are the helpless child. I'm the abusive mother and you're the helpless child, and I'm shaming you, or I'm the evil Reddit thread and you're the person who is struggling with episodes of whatever. Every single time you dodge criticism.
Are you not trying to change her, but you also want her to like listen to your criticisms and take them seriously? How are these two things compatible?
Wait, do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying now? Now Max is making a prescription for Brittany. Do you see why I said that?
Wait, hold on. Max has always made a prescription for Brittany. He's not denying that. He would never.
No, I know. But now Max is also saying that his way, his prescription is like the one.
Yeah, of course he is.
He is the master of ethics. So this is why I'm like, you are getting mad at Brittany for what you are doing.
If you say people's names, they shut up because they think that you're.
That's so fucking stupid. That's what a dumb point from Lav. Oh my god. Why? That was so dumb. Why were you so stupid? That was so dumb. Wow. So Mr. Girl is doing the thing where he's saying that Brittany is operating in an unethical way, and Mr. Girl is in the wrong for doing that because he's assuming he's the master of ethics. So whenever I say somebody's doing something wrong, I am the master of ethics. Like, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. What a stupid way of looking at it. Sure, then the answer would be, yeah, I don't care. Why is that bad? It's the only way to get any kind of ethical progress. If I can't say Hitler was a bad guy without being the master of ethics, like, ooh, that's crazy, bro. Holy shit, what a stupid thing to say.
You're talking specifically that. Lav and Kyla, and I'll just give a monologue I was going to say anyway. Lav and Kyla, guys, you need to stay laser focused on what you're doing in a conversation. So there's a difference between me having a prescription. me having a prescription that I'm describing in this conversation, or the point of the conversation is to give the prescription to Brittany and have her accept it. It's not the second one. The point of this conversation
She's not accepting it.
my
What
goal,
are you doing then?
I know, that's what I'm saying to you. My goal in the conversation is not to have her accept the prescription. I think it's very unlikely she's going to do that. My goal is just to
denigrate her.
No, it's not about her. My goal is to just say what the prescription is and give her a chance to respond to it, whatever her response is.
But you have, and she's rejected it, and she says, I don't care what you have to say, and then you're going on to try to basically argue why she should care about what you have to say.
Yes.
Well, because we're all speaking.
You're trying to shake her and wake her up.
No. Hold on, chill. We're speaking
No.
in front of an audience. I think the goal is to just bring it away. Like, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think Max is making videos about Dr. K to change Dr. K's mind on what he's doing. He's never going to do that, and I think he knows that.
No.
The goal is to bring an awareness about a particular thing so that other people know that, so that his position is made clear. And that's probably the issue.
To stop a bad behavior should be Max's #1 goal. I'm sure it is.
No, it's not this. It's to bring awareness about it. If it stops it as a byproduct, that'd be great.
Earlier,
But
this is all we can do.
Yeah, but not this specific bad behavior. And I also want to raise awareness about the vulnerable position that we're all in as streamers and as the streamer audience to all the things that we're susceptible to. And like as I said before, my biggest problem was with YouTube for facilitating and monetizing these, and probably Patreon for facilitating and monetizing these kinds of relationships without the safeguards that you would need in like the real world.
nice job, guys. Wow. Are you happy, Dan? We got there in the end. Do you feel good about what you've
really.
done? Oh.
I don't know if I agree
Dan, it
with
seems
that.
like what
I
you
think
have
Max really wants to change people's minds. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say that's probably true. Yeah.
Brittany, do you think it's possible that you could just like not like Brittany, and that's okay?
Of course, he hates Brittany.
No, but I think that is it possible that like we could all not like someone and not like what they're doing, and then also like I mean if you at first you try and you do not succeed, you can keep trying, but at some point you need to be like, oh, this is like not good for me, and I would tell Max that what he's doing with Dr. K is very similar.
You're running interference for Brittany and Dr. K. Also, I like Brittany.
Hey.
I even like Dr. K. I'll be watching
Okay,
videos.
but
He's a funny, likable guy. I get it, and I get why people like Brittany. I like Brittany. I like Brittany Simon.
What the fuck? I'm
Outclassed here, Lav. Is really what it is. Okay, you don't even know what realm you're in.
dude. At this
Mr. Go,
point,
do you
it's
like Lav? Do you like Lav, Mr. Go?
Do I? Yeah, I like.
Who do you like more?
Stop.
You didn't. You're a little bit less certain on that one.
I
Let's be
asked this
honest.
question. I asked this question to Destiny earlier. It was just a meme. It was just
No,
a
it's
meme.
not.
Hey, Dan, are you happy with where we're at? Do you want to push them in any other direction, or are you content now?
Dan, why don't you used us as you used me as a pawn in your little game?
Yeah, because Dan doesn't
Okay.
get
And then-
Of course.
Yeah,
Well, we said
that's
that,
what
like,
You
an
think
hour
there's a
and
lot of
a half ago.
Britneys out there? There's even more Dans.
because of
So
that,
you watch out for
do
that.
you have Jerry's final thoughts for Brittany?
Who's Jerry?
Jerry Springer? Wow, am I the only one who grew up poor here? You don't know who
No, Jerry Springer is. But what's that in reference to?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
She said-
Because you're Jerry
Dan's like
Springer. You
Jerry
bring the
Springer.
people on, you goad them on. You're like Mario or Jerry.
Yes.
Oh.
Jerry's final thoughts. You like Jerry comes on afterwards and is like from the audience.
Let me see if I can put some pieces together, I guess, a little bit here. So let me ask some questions to get you guys on the same page here. So, Lev, do you feel like Brittany has made any changes as a result of conversation today? Or do you think she's
No.
strengthened in her views and is going to keep doing what she's doing, exactly as she was doing?
So my
You're
hope
gonna keep doing exactly what.
is that she does take this and maybe is like, okay, there are things that I can change. But also I think there's only so much you can do and say to get someone to change before you just kind of have to be like, yep, this is who they are, and it's not my problem anymore. And I think that is the healthiest choice.
So you're giving up on Brittany. You basically think she's a lost cause. She's not going to make any changes, and you're done. You're done making it your problem.
Well, no, it's the same reason. Like, if it's the same way if you're dating someone who's dating a very toxic guy, it's like they need to learn for themselves. And here's another thing that I was going to ask Max: like, would anyone change your mind? Like, if a Brittany viewer was like, "I fucking loved it. It gave me everything. Like, I loved it so much." Like, would you be like, "No"?
No, nothing would change his mind because it would be like asking 20 people who ended up in a relationship when they were 12 and the other person was 18, and at the end of it all of them were like, "Oh yeah, it actually turned out really good." That wouldn't change the thing because there could still be harm there that nobody could ever measure or see, and it's always like prone to highly exploitative behavior. Yeah.
Exactly.
We have to look at the positives and the net positives also, because like with DBT, you think that someone with BPD shouldn't have access to people, but obviously like there's so much good that's been done with the creator of DBT. Shut the fuck up, Max. Let me fucking talk. You've been monologuing for like 3 fucking hours. I'm asking you a question.
I'm trying to answer the question, but you're going to ask a new one by the time you're done asking it.
I want to hear you, Lav.
Okay, the problem with your question is that your formulation is Brittany useless? is there any value to Brittany, right? And that's the same criticism I have of Brittany, is that I don't think people are useless.
It's not.
Wait. In your example, you say a toxic boyfriend, a useless toxic boyfriend. You have to realize you have to get away from that. I don't believe in useless toxic people, which is my whole fucking problem with Brittany in the first place. So no, I don't think Brittany is a toxic.
Oh my god, this is codependence at its finest. You think that you can change her?
I don't think you or Brittany or Adolf Hitler or Chud Logic are useless, toxic people who should be dismissed. So don't take me saying that to mean like I don't have ethical problems with Brittany. I'm just not going to say that as a result of having ethical problems with her that she's worthless and has never helped anybody. That's not what I'm saying.
Why did you say me after Hitler? Wait a second. Why did you say that?
I was going from most, at least to most racist.
Okay.
But you would say that Brittany is like right. She was right before Hitler on that list, though, so she's pretty close.
She was pretty close. Yeah.
But I mean, there wasn't anything in between Hitler and Brittany, just to be clear.
True.
Okay, so you're basically she's Hitler adjacent.
The 4 most racist people I've ever heard of.
Okay, I mean that's fine. I'll take it. Hitler adjacent. I mean, you're right there. There's no one in between them, so that's fine.
How do we know that? How do we know that in like 50 years, people aren't going to be like, what Brittany Simon told me? Really? What if she makes it into an empire? And they're like,
Absolutely.
This really helps people.
They won't be alive. They'll all kill themselves.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Can I real quick? Hold on. Stop. Because this is a good question and it requires a good answer. Okay. Because a lot of people don't understand why some types of relationships are unethical. Okay. Like, why is it unethical for a person in power to proposition somebody that's not in power? The reason why is because it is impossible for every single person, except for the person making the proposition, to realize that there's an unethical behavior that's occurring there. That's the issue. If I'm the boss of an employee and I proposition that employee doesn't know if they can say no without there being a punishment. Nobody
Goddamn, Dan got
to this interaction can know that if the employee says no, there's not going to be like a consequence for doing so. I'm the only one that knows that, meaning that me, the person who's trying to get the most out of the situation, is the only one that can ever know if an abuse is occurring. So even if you go through 20 of those situations where it could be a parent-child, it could be a teacher-student, it could be an employer-employee situation, even if you go through 20 where all of them are positive, the issue is that transaction is inherently unethical because nobody can actually figure out if there's a bigger like game being played than the person making the proposition. And so in Brittany's position, where even if this is Max's argument, even if we think that every person she sees does well, and even if everything goes fine, and some people build an empire, blah, 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 the issue is that there are no ethical third parties that are evaluating her like relationships with other people, and she's the only one that can truly know if any sort of exploitative behavior is going on. Even if all of them turn out okay, that situation alone makes it unethical. Just the situation itself, regardless of outcomes.
That's why we say statutory rape is rape. We don't say it's probably rape.
Yeah.
It's by definition.
So do you think that ethics are objective?
In this, yes.
Once you write them down, they are.
Codified.
They're objective in the world. Ethics are objective.
It's not a matter of like moral realism or not. It's a matter of like how do we codify our collective moral agreements with each other. So
sure, but don't you think there are things that we don't even know yet?
Doesn't matter. That's not relevant to this conversation.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a defense.
Code of ethics might be
I think
wrong.
that is relevant to the conversation.
It's not because nobody.
Wait,
wait,
hold on
real quick, because this is not a real conversation. If somebody were to say should be able to fuck 3-year-olds, would you say, well, maybe because ethics isn't like objective fact? Would you ever say that?
No, well, no, sure, but I think in the way that like Mr. Girl has criticism for Dr. Kim wanting to
thank
befriend
you. Finally, we get away from
his clients. How do we know that that's not like? We know that in the past that's been the way that we haven't done things, but how do we know that affects them?
Okay, so this is not an argument about what the correct ethics are. Is whether do you think that we should come up with a code of ethics and then follow it and hold practitioners to it to give them licenses?
So what code of ethics do you think a life coach should have?
Do you think that we should have a code of ethics that we hold practitioners to?
So what code of ethics do you think a life coach should have?
I'm not going to answer your question because I feel like you can't.
So what is Brittany doing wrong if you can't tell her what she's doing wrong?
I'm not going to answer your question unless you answer mine. Do you think practitioners should have a code of ethics?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not wait, hold on. That's not an answer. It's got to be yes or no.
What kind of practitioner?
Any.
Frog practitioner.
I think when you're being paid to be a friend, that's different. So like I wouldn't call Brittany a practitioner, but I would call like a chiropractor a practitioner. To be someone's friend who's doing that.
Okay, it sounds like you don't accept the
Jesus
premise
Christ.
that practitioners should have codes of ethics.
No, I do, but I just don't think it's relevant because I don't think Brittany calls herself
it sounds like for the purpose of the conversation, for some reason you're not willing to say you have that premise. So I don't think.
No, I just told you that I did. I told you that I did, but Brittany is not a professional.
That's interesting you mentioned that, but that's not the question I'm asking you. So you'll notice as you
answered your fucking question. Yes,
as you venture into your Twitch career.
Dude, you just don't want to answer my question. Actually, you're actually moving, so you don't answer my question. That's hilarious.
You're gonna notice there's two types of people that you talk to.
Answer my fucking question.
As a streamer, you're gonna encounter two types of people.
Answer my question. Tell Brittany exactly what she's doing wrong in the ethics that she should live under.
Okay, there's two types of people that you're going to encounter. One type is you ask them a question and they start trying to think ahead. What's the next question going to be? And then
I don't understand. So did Lab change her opinion? Because she has not stated that she's changed her opinion at all. She just stated that she doesn't like Max's opinion. But she came in really hot against Brittany Simon and has not stated any change of opinion at all.
They lie about the answer to the current question, even an outrageous lie, like, I don't think doctors should have a code of ethics. They'll say the dumbest, fucking, most retarded thing you've ever heard in your entire life because they're afraid of what the next question is going to be. And then you'll encounter people that are much easier to talk to, and they'll just answer the fucking question.
Okay, Max,
So,
I love
do
you.
think- do
You're
you think-
nonsensical right now. Please answer the fucking question.
Yo, Infinite Slick, you are an edgy guy, but that's too much, man. You gotta know when you're beat, and that's too much, man.
Please. What code of ethics do you think a life coach should live by?
I don't think life coaches should have a code of ethics written down, because if they did, then they would just come up with a new name that doesn't have a code of ethics attached to it. So life coaches definitionally, whatever people want to give advice with no code of ethics.
Okay, wait, hold on. That was not a good fit to answer the question. Hold on, wait. What Max would say is that if you wanted to be a life coach, I would imagine, right? There needs to be some way to evaluate that the relationship is not exploitative. That would be, so whatever system of ethics you design, like that would be, so whether that is some sort of third-party accountability, whether that is some certification board or whatever, there would have to be somebody that has a way of checking, similar to, it would probably look a lot similar to the code of ethics of a therapist, except maybe
Jamie.
they wouldn't have as stringent a qualification to like report suicidal people or deal with people with mental illness or refer people to psychiatry or something. It'd probably be a little less than that.
I think that would be ideal, but there's always going to be some class of people who just says,
yeah, they're going to say, I'm not a life coach, I'm just a human coach, or I'm just
What
a
is Dan
human helper or
doing?
something. I understand, but like if there was like a code of ethics
Right.
for anybody in that class, you'd want it to be probably similar to a therapist, but a little bit less stringent because they shouldn't be prescribing or like helping mentally ill people, basically.
She
right?
said she gave up on criticizing Brittany because she can't handle it. Sure, I know she said that earlier. Is that Brittany isn't going to take in the criticisms, so she's done criticizing Brittany. That doesn't change the fact that those criticisms still exist. Right? It just means that she can't argue them with Brittany.
yeah. So
Did you say it should
when
be
you
an
ask,
unwritten code of ethics, just to clarify?
well, so I think you're asking me two questions at the same time.
I'm
One
just
is,
clarifying your
should they-
statement. I thought I misheard potentially.
He said unwritten because he's saying that if it was written, they would just try to get around it. He didn't mean that. He was just saying that if you write it down, they're going to call themselves like human helpers next, and then it'd be pointless. But Max, insofar as if we could perfectly license life coaches, you would want them to.
perfectly,
Yes. Okay.
Yes, the perfect thing would be if there was a person who could give you life advice or help you, who's not a therapist, but who is still overseen by some governing body and is adhering to a code of ethics. But the reality is, if you do that, then yeah, you're going to come up with human helpers or whatever, some other class of people that says, well, you can't stop people from charging each other money to give advice, essentially. So that's going to happen no matter what. So then the real question, Lav, is given that Brittany, I think intentionally, is staying in a lane where there is no code of ethics, and that's just necessarily going to exist.
But there's no mandatory code of ethics for life coaches.
No, hold on.
Right.
Wait, stop. No, that's a bad path. That's the whole point. But the question was, should there be some code of ethics for life coaches? Because Mr. Girl doesn't like them because he thinks that those relationships, identical to therapist relationships, they have an identical problem and that they're prone to abuse.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want life coaches to become professionals. Should they have
If you
mandatory training then as well?
the reality is, if you make them professionals, then another thing will spring up where people say, I'm not beholden to these rules, I'm a human helper. And human helpers are not beholden to any rules. And if you say, well, they should have a rule that's set, then they'll say, well, I'm an advice guy. So no matter
So
what.
nobody without a degree. So nobody
Oh my
without
God,
a degree.
you need to be able to wrap your mind around this because it's
How
not
do you
that
feel about
fucking
streamers who give
complicated.
advice?
No matter what, you
probably
need to
feels
understand the
better.
difference between a descriptive.
I mean, I genuinely understand what Mr. Girl is saying. I don't know how this is a hard concept to understand. In a perfect world, he would love it for individuals to be able to, life coaches to be held to a standard. Somebody giving advice, one-on-one or personalized advice to another individual, maybe even general advice, to a group of individuals should be certified or otherwise have a committee or a governing body oversee those kinds of interactions. But he recognizes that can and never will happen. So because otherwise people will just swap to a different moniker, which is exactly what Brittany is doing. Because she is absolutely a life coach, but she says she's not a life coach, she's a mentor. And it just, I think that's how it will be forever.
A descriptive statement and a prescriptive statement. I'm making a prescriptive statement. I'm saying I really wish, since that the guidelines are not there either for YouTubers or streamers or content creators or for life coaches, I wish people
Leokin, I appreciate the message. I like streaming at this time.
would hold themselves or each other accountable in a moral way, given that the safety guards are not there. Descriptively, they can't be there.
Probably I'll go over it. When is the did it already drop today? Did it drop yesterday? Is it dropping tomorrow?
In terms of people giving each other advice for money, because that's always going to happen, and it would be a totalitarian shithole country to live in if the government actually found a way to stop you from giving advice to people for money.
Did you guys know that when I was 16,
Oh God.
my parents were like really upset that I was like smoking pot and like that, and they actually sent me to a therapeutic boarding school called the Academy at Swift River, where I lived outside for 3 months And then after that, I had intense therapy for 18 months nonstop, even though I didn't need to have it. So I'm like a fucking wizard with this shit. Also, I have a Psych D doctor wife when it comes to psychology. And I can tell you guys that you're all fucking weak sauce right now. As the most educated person when it comes to this stuff, you need to move on. We need to try and move into something that's a little bit better. And I think Chud was just messaging me that he actually has some topics that he wants to bring up specifically.
Well, hold on, chill. Okay, wait, before we do the ultimate
I feel
let
like
them
we've
resolve
really
their shit.
covered a lot.
Hold on, we're already using and abusing these people. Stop. This is literally, I'm gonna kick people. Stop, okay? If you want to churn and burn these guys for content, which I'm totally okay with, by the way. I love using people for money, okay? But if you want to do it, at the very least, give them some space to genuinely resolve conversations and differences rather than just moving to the next topic, okay? Jesus Christ. Okay.
So to understand you, you want people, streamers, anyone who gives advice to hold themselves accountable to their standards. The issue is that these unwritten standards, and I get that you want them to be critiqued by other people in the space and therefore respond to it to some degree. That would be your ideal. I know you're not saying that that has to happen, but this is what you're describing would be the best situation. The problem with all of these unwritten code and ethics and stuff like that is that no one's going to agree. That is why people unironically call you like a psychopath and a murderer and like a pedophile and all sorts of things, and then call other streamers other things. This like unwritten code of ethics that you're like kind of suggesting, I agree sounds really great, but like we can't just codify everything.
Okay, hold on. I just want to just there's like 15 seconds because I think Erudite, you agree with Mr. Girl 100% of this, okay? Listen to me, okay? Let's say that I started selling life advice things, okay? Let's say that Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, let's say that I start selling life coaching lessons, okay? I open a Patreon and I do it for $300 each, okay? And let's say that every single girl client that messages me, I start a sexual relationship with them because I'm a big streamer and they're paying me for it and they're mind fucked. Do you think that arrangement should ever be possible?
Definitely not, but how do we actually manage that?
How do you manage it for anything? If there is an exchange of money for some sort of like personal consultation or whatever, should that not call under like some kind of ethical consideration for that type of arrangement? We've got organizations in the United States that regulate lotteries. I can't hold raffles for only subscribers because it's a form of lottery. We've got things for therapists and doctors, and we, you know, there's all of HIPAA, there's patient confidentiality, or there's a client confidentiality for lawyers. There's tons of different like formalized like codes of like, if you do this, then you have this type of relationship. So to be as charitable as possible to what Mr. would want, if you are offering money to somebody in a one-on-one setting in exchange for some kind of advice, should that not call into it some sort of ethical consideration? Or should I be able to churn and burn fangirls that want to pay me $300 for one-on-one coaching sessions? Because I think it's only one or the other. Yes, I think you have to choose one or the other.
Yes, obviously ethics have to come into it. The issue that I'm having is Brittany's not even giving people advice. So I'm not really sure how this maps onto Brittany.
But that's part of what she can do is give people advice, right? Like putting together the puzzles, what she said. Right.
I do have a question. What's the difference between this and like advice and confessions with Mr. Girl?
Because those are, one, done publicly, which is way different. Two, there's no exchange of money there. And then three, he's open about the type of interaction that's happening. He doesn't sell himself as a therapist or a psychologist or whatever. Now, it could still be prone to abuse. It could be. But I would argue that the safeguards, the rails on that are the fact that that whole interaction is public. If he was doing something, I don't know if he does do this, but if he was doing something where people were sending him private messages afterwards and then he was maintaining that relationship onwards, that would, be a much different thing. And yeah, I'm sure he would agree with that would be a much different thing. And then
also, they're also anonymous. They're also anonymous, and I also only talk to them once each for 10 to 20 minutes. While I agree that there are ethical questions about me doing that, absolutely. And I think I should be held accountable by my peers, and you should grill me about it because it could potentially be very fucked up. But I do think that
I think a really big part of Max's argument here is that he doesn't feel like Brittany is even entertaining her moral culpability inside of this situation, which honestly I kind of agree with. I feel like Brittany's position so far has been very much a position of combativeness that hasn't really it doesn't feel like she's taking these moral critiques. She's just kind of saying human's gonna human. You can't tell me how to live my life. You're not the ultimate ethical arbiter of truth, and that I consider to be unethical when we talk about shit like this. I think you should be open to criticism of other people that you might be doing something unethical. Otherwise, that's our system of peer review, right? Is for me to be able to approach you and say, hey, I think you're doing something wrong, for you to just never listen. I mean, that's the closest thing to peer review we're going to get.
Those are pretty significant differences.
So basically, we're wanting to establish some sort of code of ethics, basically, for all non-professionals who give any level of advice in any public.
You always create this fucking extremely elaborate, hyper-specific straw man. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I have 3 ethical problems with what Brittany does, and I think she should fix them. And then if you say, well, do you think there should be a code of ethics? And I say, well, I guess it would be good if there was one. And then you're like, what? So now that's your position, Max. And it's like, no, that's not what I came in here to say. That's not my position. I kind of think that. I think that we have an unprecedented amount of power and influence and direct one-to-one private access with people who worship us that's never really happened before. And I think that the platforms need to figure out how to stop us from it.
You're right. She is on super defense mode, but I think they did open up with, I think you run a sex cult where you're Oh, no, Gunther, let's not get it twisted. I was just reading a chat message inside of Twitch offline chat. Yeah, I think Brittany is absolutely right for getting super defensive over this. I think that Brittany's well within her reasonable argument. Obviously, I would say it's optimal for people to not be defensive in this situation, but that's ridiculous. It's not a human move. And we care about human moves here. And the idea that Brittany Simon got really defensive over, being some of the things that especially Lav said prior to her being in the call, yeah, absolutely. And then the obvious Nazi sex cult thing. It is obvious. I also feel like there was just a lot of things where they said that like Brittany was being unethical and they didn't really establish it well enough. And it kind of just felt like jabs.
Using these people.
Okay,
I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that looks like, and I don't know what the code of ethics should be. But I know right now all we have is each other.
Yeah,
so,
and something real quick on this, because like I said, I think we all agree with this, okay? I don't want to pull out the philosophy debate bro shit, but erudite, what it feels a little bit is like we're pushing on the concept of a Nirvana fallacy, where I think we all agree that these are probably potentially abusive relationships that maybe we could create safeguards for, but I don't think anybody here right now is going to be able to give you an ironclad list of like, these are the 7 rules found at the end of the Death Note that will be the hardcore restrictions. Yeah, I don't think anybody can do that.
That's fair.
But it just seems like there
issue,
should probably be some kind of guidance on it, would be Max's argument.
For sure. I agree. Yeah. The issue that I have with Max specifically is that he comes in, decides what the ethics are objectively, hounds them forever, will never move off of what they are, and he's already decided before he came in what they should be and that these are right. And I'm saying that seems a little bit silly to hold Brittany to those specific things because you're also not moving on.
No, I don't think I agree with that because one, he should have an idea of what he's coming in to critique Brittany for. He should have an idea of what the ethical boundaries that he thinks Brittany is breaking. He should have a very solid understanding of what that is before even entering the call. And especially, like, we would criticize him for not doing that. I would take the opposite position. I would say for him to not do that, that would be bad. For him to just come into the call and be like, yeah, Brittany, I don't know, I kind of disagree with you on some things, like, in shit like this, but let me just kind of, like, rehash everything that you've said over the last couple months so I can just figure out where you're wrong. I think that's pretty cringe. I think him coming in and being like, this is why I disagree with you. This is why I disagree with you. That's why I disagree with you. Let me tell you why all of those things are unethical. Yeah, when Erudite says that he's unshaking and unmoving on it, yeah, maybe I could break bread with that being bad, but I'd have to hear what exactly she's specifically talking about. Maybe she's referring to the things that Brittany Simon can't disprove, like that she's giving life coaching and that life coaching is bad when done in the way that Brittany Simon does it. And then Mr. Girl's defense of that is because that there's nothing that can happen to change his mind, that he believes that it's bad for certain reasons, but those certain reasons can never change because those are just unethical to him no matter what. You could say that's probably not something we should do. Whatever criticism we have of somebody, we should probably be open to changing whether or not it is actually a criticism based on that person's argument. I could agree with that. Like, I shouldn't walk up to Destiny and be like, hey, I think what you're doing is unethical, and no matter what Destiny says, it will never change my opinion on that. And that's, like, fundamental to that shit. I think that is a pretty cringe thing to have, but outside of that, I think everything that Erudite listed is okay for Max.
Anything.
Okay, so to put it to you, is there a code of ethics anywhere objectively that says I shouldn't do what you just said I'm doing?
No. Obviously.
Then why are you telling me not? Then why are you calling me out for it? If there's no code, it's not been established objectively by any group of people, why can you call me out for doing that? It seems like the answer is you just fucking think it. You came in, you saw me doing this, you thought it was wrong, and so when you see somebody doing something wrong, you speak up and say something about it just because you think it's wrong.
Yes, I understand that.
Great, that's the exact same thing I'm doing. I think what Brittany is doing is wrong. And then when people start running interference for her, and everybody on the panel seems to have a different fucking reason why they want to run interference for her, I am defending myself very, or I guess putting forth my claim very aggressively, but that's not to say it's an objective fact. These are the ethical qualms I have. I keep saying I have 3 ethical problems with what you're doing, and I'm trying to lay them out as succinctly and clearly as I possibly can.
And so what I'm doing, I'm hearing those things, and I was clarifying some of them, and now I'm posing questions with the 3 things that you've outlined and saying, I don't know if those are super valid.
No, you're not. You're posing straw man questions and you're trying to trap me into saying there is a code of conduct or code of ethics. You're going to say, well,
No,
where
I'm
is it?
not,
And you're going to
because
say,
I know
then you're going
that
to say,
there
you're going to say, okay, and you're saying there should be one, or blah 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 blah. But all I'm saying is, I think that what Brittany is doing is fucked up and she shouldn't do it. It's much easier to say, I see somebody doing something that they shouldn't do. That they
I ask clarifying questions. Literally half the time.
They're not really clarifying
what
questions.
saying?
I think they're bullshit questions. I don't think they're real questions.
I get that you don't like them, but they're not straw man questions. I'm literally
They
asking
are.
you. I say, Max,
No,
is this what you're
they
saying?
are fake lie questions. They're not honest. They're
I would also,
questions.
I would be really careful.
Let's just point to the fake lie straw man questions. Let's point them out. Let's hear them. Name them.
Max, because in a way you're kind of doing, earlier you actually correctly pointed out that like I'll be arguing with conservatives and I'll be like, should we care about fellow human beings? And they'll be like, they're trying not to answer because obviously the answer is yes, but they don't want to answer the question because they know that I'm probably leading into another question, so they'll fight me on the first question. It's kind of what you're doing with Kyla, a little bit. Did I get that name right? Thank you.
Okay, what question do you think I should answer that I'm not answering?
I think this whole line of questioning is dumb. But if you're going to not engage, I think you have to completely not engage. But when you say like, I know where you're going with this question, you're kind of falling into the same trap earlier that you accuse other people. And I understand why you're saying it. But yeah,
You're literally just saying, I'm a demon woman. I'm trying to manipulate you, so I'm trying to get away from these questions and avoid.
Well, no, hold on. He's not calling you a demon woman. He's saying you're walking him into a Nirvana fallacy. Okay, sure. You're walking him into a Nirvana fallacy where he can't give an exact answer, so you're gonna feel like that undermines his whole point. When just like you're not criticizing him from this like rock solid place of ethics, like the APA manual, page 37 says, right? You're not doing it. You're doing it because you have a sense of justice, but you feel like it's right, and he feels the same way about it, right? Yeah.
I think there's a difference between saying your question is fucking stupid and a lie, and I'm going to answer the question dishonestly.
Sure.
Like I'm not answering the question. I'm saying that your question is a dishonest lie. So I don't think that is quite the same thing that I was saying earlier.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, before we continue on with this, I want to give everybody an opportunity, because I know Brittany, you got pulled in here while you're high. Live, you're chilling. If anybody wants to exit at any time, you guys are good to do so without anybody getting mad or upset. Just putting that out there in the air, okay? And then.
Am I needed here?
What?
Am I needed here?
No, you can take off if you want, unless somebody really wants to interrogate you for a couple more minutes or whatever.
No,
I mean, I don't mind being here, but I just.
Your question is a dishonest lie. What a Mr. Girl thing to say. That is a pretty Mr. Girl. Erudite has the worst questions. Some people are calling them fake questions. Make questions great again. Gunther IRL says in Twitch chat.
I want to make sure I'm being useful, otherwise I'll leave.
Oh, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
The next topic I think is going to be very relevant to you, so.
Before you leave, Brittany, if you do end up leaving, I do want to say that I did come in a little hot, and I'm sorry for that.
Oh my God.
I do not think all the things that Max thinks, obviously. There are some parts where I definitely disagree with you. When I saw your videos, I was like, okay, I would prescribe this for myself. Overall, though, it sounds like, you are smart enough to know what you're doing and to, like,
Wait, which of the three things that...
Reduce harm. Thank you so much, Max, for your input. Let me speak.
Which of my three criticisms do you disagree with?
It seems like you are smart enough to do harm reduction.
I'm just super curious.
I'm a big fan.
Super curious, Lab.
And I'm very sorry.
You disagree with.
Dr. Lindsay Doe, her video on harm reduction, one of my favorites. I highly recommend it. But
yeah,
thank
that's
you.
great.
I really appreciate it.
That's great. And I think if you're helping people, then you're fucking helping people, and we can all hope to help people in this life. That's what we're here for.
Oh my God. All right, look. Unlucky, unfortunate. Sorry I wasn't as talkative as I was at normal different times. I'm the sickest I've ever been in my life. I feel absolutely terrible. I had a roaring headache. I felt lethargic and a little bit dizzy before, and then I woke up with a sore throat and shit. It's just terrible. I have multiple different sicknesses right now, and it feels terrible. But yeah, I'm just trying to focus on not passing out on stream. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call it here. It's been a short stream on both Twitch and YouTube. It's been a short stream, but I call it where I gotta call it. There's a bad flu going around. Maybe that's it, man. It's torqued me, man. It's absolutely swamped me. But hopefully I'll be back tomorrow in a little bit better shape to be able to bring content. For today, that's gonna be it. Brittany won me over in this conversation. Not a fan of the levels, but she was rational and deflected all of the stupid criticisms. All being baked. What a giga chad. Thanks for the 10. Well burnt warlock. Wait. Well butrin warlock. I don't know why I said well burnt. Thank you for the 10. Not sure I completely agree with that. I think that she absolutely deflected some criticism that was quite valid. Go get some medicine. Thank you, Ian, for the $5. I'll be sure to get the $5 medicine. DGG World. Yo, what's up? By the way. Rest easy, King. Don't die. Yeah, I'm gonna try to not die. Drink plenty of fluids, and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Another thing is, I got some new, I said it on Twitch at the end of the stream, but I'm gonna say it here. I got some new clothes. I think they look pretty good. I'm really excited to debut them and some of the changes that I've made to my fashion sense, or to my my wardrobe, and kind of just share the experience of the changes that you can make over 6 to 10 hours of just looking around, figuring out a style that you want to do, how it works with you. I'm excited to debut it. I'm excited to get people's feedback. So yeah, we'll see. I'm probably gonna start up the Instagram, or something akin to that, to post it. Maybe the TikTok or something. I don't know. To get that going, and we'll see how that goes. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Yeah, really summer hole, pretty much. Yeah. But for now, I'm gonna go try and get some sleep. I've been sleeping legitimately over the past 2 days, like 12 hours a day. It's been horrible. How I've been feeling. I've just needed to sleep all day, every day. Yeah, so thank you so much to everybody who was fucking around with the fuck arounds and hung out. I should be back tomorrow, hopefully a little bit better. I'll see you guys tomorrow.